Once upon a time, in a faraway podcast kingdom, there was a humble host and a brazen co-host who set out to do a podcast on the most utterly ridiculous of shows. They trudged through the repetitive first season until they met a new, respectful co-host, and the three together, with the newly energized second season, they set out on a journey of memes and discourse. One day, the humble host, the brazen co-host, and the respectful co-host discovered their new favorite theory to talk about and discussed it nonstop. Until today, when everything has finally come together and we have answers. Kind of. I'm your humble host, Dylan, today joined by my brazen co-host, Delaney.
Hey, y'all.
And respectful co-host, April.
Hi there.
Is
April really the respectful co-host? Is that really
would you switch those? I was a hard choice.
No, I'm not respectful, but I don't know if that's what I would have picked for April.
I know. I went by the ones that were in the thing, so
I don't know. It depends. I mean, I'm not respectful.
We could have gone curious. I did brazen instead of curious. April, I think curious is good for April.
I like curious.
Yeah. That was.
Also, you're welcome. I didn't start screaming.
Oh, good.
I let you do the whole thing.
Thank you.
I wish you could have seen how far my jaw dropped for the entirety of that.
No, once the music started, I was like, "Oh God, it's Luca," and then it got worse.
No. Look, there's more coming.
Honestly,
this podcast. Hold on.
More.
You and your freaking soundboard.
I love this so much. I'm here for it.
Shout out Sarah for that idea, by the way.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sarah hates you. You'll hear about this later.
You'll hear about it.
So yes, it is time for our big podcast on collusion, revolution, and representation.
Terrible terrible titles, by the way.
Yeah.
It doesn't really say what's going on. Revolution is particularly confusing because collusion has a revolution in it. But Overly Animated Podcast, overlyanimated.com. Find our previous Miraculous Ladybug podcast here. And spoiler warning, we are going by the Disney US English dub releases. Spoilers only up to the episodes we're covering in this podcast, so just not the finale. Please, absolutely no spoilers past where the Disney US dub is at anywhere in the comments or anywhere you would interact with the podcast. We are not spoiled. We don't know what's going to happen in the finale. At least I don't. I had no idea what was coming in Revolution or Representation. So very successful, spoiler-free. Thank you for 2 more weeks of spoiler-freeness here.
Please.
Yeah, we have much to talk about. Big episodes. Delaney. And this is, by the way, this is coming. We're recording this on Saturday, and this Representation just aired in the U.S. today.
So the feelings are raw and unfiltered.
And also, I did everything today. To keep that in mind. Okay. Delaney, what were your biggest reactions as you went through these 3 episodes?
Oh, geez. I don't know. So a lot of, normally I'm, pausing and screaming, which I did a little bit. I did do that for, I think, Collusion?
Yeah. That was the toughest one?
No, I don't know. Well, I didn't, there were moments I wanted to do it for Representation, but April hadn't watched yet. But
I know, yeah. This is the first episode ever I think you watched first.
Yeah,
I know. I was so surprised.
It's because I didn't sleep. Anyway,
That's sad.
That's fair.
It's hard to pinpoint because I was kind of just just staring at my phone the whole time, eyes wide. It just kept happening. Stuff just kept happening.
There was no stopping.
There was no stopping. It was just oh my God. And then wild stuff kept happening. Miss Boustier's gay, and that's still not the most shocking thing that happened.
Were you surprised, or did you have any idea?
So I didn't have any idea because how would you? But I'm not shocked. I wasn't.
Yeah,
I'm really happy that she's gay. I was oh, she got a motorcycle wife. Look at you,
right?
I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. I don't know. This show, I'm really proud of this show from going from I don't know, we've had some really low key representation, and then this season it's nah,
yeah,
fight us. So I'm about it. And then and it wasn't just a one-off thing either. They kept like poor Giselle. She was like, I'm stressed. Like,
Yeah, no.
I guess my biggest reaction,
Yes.
which is, y'all can laugh at me about it, was that Hawkmoth akumatized a pregnant woman. I was like, that's two. You just akumatized two people.
Does the unborn baby also get akumatized?
I don't know. And then I was like freaking out. I was like, do not akumatize her. And then when she broke free, I was like, yes. And then of course she got akumatized anyway. But like,
This is like 2 minutes of thoughts. You haven't mentioned Senna Monsters or The Kiss once.
Okay, well, like, okay, so well, the kiss is sad. We got what we deserved though. It was like cinematic and like 30 seconds of solid kissing, and then like these adults can't rip these children away. Hilarious. Gorilla is like the MVP.
Love Gorilla.
He's the best.
Gorilla backstory.
He's such a bro. That airport guy sucks.
Okay, and we'll get to everything. We don't need to get to airport guy yet.
But then I guess like my biggest thing is like the movie, like the little movie is like so stupid, but it's great.
Okay, pro movie. I guess that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
the
a little
performance.
I was confused. Okay, so I will talk about it. I was confused.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Like whether it was like happening or it was a recording.
Good question.
Talk about it.
Good question.
I was deeply confused.
April, your biggest reactions to these episodes?
Okay, so these last 3 episodes, the best way I can describe them is that they're a train wreck that you can't look away from, but it's not a train wreck. So, but it also is a train wreck. Yeah, it like isn't. Which it's the only way I can describe it. It's so hilarious because representation like threw me for like it just sent me spiraling. And then it was hilarious because like I was looking over the notes and everything like that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Last episode, Adrienne and Marinette kissed. I forgot. That's how
you forgot.
I forgot.
That's the thing with these 3 episodes and why I don't have like a big reaction to certain, because like it just keeps happening, like stuff. Yeah, and I would tell Tanya, and Tanya would be like, "There's more," and I was like, "Yes, like there's 2 more episodes after this."
Yeah, it's so interesting because I feel like I'm constantly pausing episodes and freaking out, and these last 3 episodes like held my attention from start to finish.
Yeah, you got to keep watching because you're like, what? And then it just keeps. I didn't even yell at Lila.
It was insanity.
I only know Cerise.
I refuse to call her. I refuse to play her little games.
We're not playing.
You like how that before these 3 episodes, it's like, oh, I'm Cerise now, and then they don't say that name once in these 3 episodes.
Is she even Cerise?
To me, she is.
Also, she just lives in a basement. Like, she just has a little bunker now, and she's like, communicating to Chloe. Yeah. It was like the worst agent ever.
Oh, yeah, there was Chloe in these episodes.
Chloe. I'm sorry, this is like best Chloe.
2 3/4 Chloe, or 1 3/4 Chloe episodes.
That's true.
Yes, anything. What else, April?
Oh, there are so many things. Like, she knows, right? Like, she knows. We're going to talk about this, I know, but like, I just keep...
You just said no so many times. What?
Like, that's all I keep thinking is I'm like, Marinette knows now. She knows now. Like, I'm like, please, Marinette, I need you to be smart for once in your life.
I mean, I don't think she knows Adrian's cat. That's the biggest thing.
Well, no, not that, but like, she knows about
that Adrian's a Senna monster. We'll talk about it.
Don't call them monsters.
Being, that's true.
They don't, but like that's the thing that I really like about this is like they don't talk about Adrienne. Like Felix knows, but they're like we're gonna present.
Okay, you like that? Interesting.
Yeah, I liked that too. Because we're on this like theme of like telling but not telling.
So
I don't think it's Felix's place to tell.
Yeah,
like,
I feel that.
Know.
I feel that.
Yes.
But do you like it if it is revealed in the finale, or do you like it even if it's left unsaid into season 6?
I think
there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way we can we can go without mentioning it.
Okay.
Up into this, why do you say that like that?
I want to hear your reasons.
What do you mean?
I'm just
what do you know?
I'm just coming in with the opposite perspective. I feel like we're not going to get. I feel like this is all we are getting this season, but we'll talk about it.
You don't think they're going to address it at all?
I mean, we'll address it, but I feel like if we're getting Adrian's a Senna monster said, they would have said it in the backstory episode, but maybe not. Maybe this is
maybe no.
Domino.
Maybe
block.
that's the finale is that Adrian finds out he's a Senta monster.
Oh.
We'll tell. Yeah, we're gonna make our finale predictions too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there.
Dylan, how did you feel about these 3 episodes?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, a respectful co-host.
This is so irritating.
I love it. I want to make shirts now.
Oh,
See, if I called Delaney respectful, I just would have gotten crap for it. But I call April respectful.
Okay, no. Here's the thing. I completely agree that, like, I mean, if you would have called me butthole co-host, I would have agreed. Like, I'm not upset.
That's
that
what
I'm
I meant.
crazy.
That's really
I
what I
just
meant.
don't agree with, like, April being respectful.
Of the two options, you know.
Like, I'm not upset about who I am at all. Like, I'm fully prepared. Like, we
have no issues with me being humble, though. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have gone with obnoxious, but, like, it's fine.
Okay.
I was like, I appreciate that, like, Delaney's so upset about the respectful that she's not even going to talk about the humble.
I know, I got away with that.
That's what's so
You really did.
You did. You got away with it. It's
Okay.
true. No, I was like, that's what you went with? Like...
That's what I went with. Okay, so these 3 what a weird group of episodes.
Yes.
I think Collusion and Revolution up until the last 5 minutes is like one thing, and then the last 5 minutes of Revolution and Representation is like the finale. It's like endgame stuff.
Yes.
So it's like definitely 2 separate things, and the Chloe as mayor plotline, I'm not the biggest fan of, honestly.
It's like, this is like the most ridiculous the show has ever been. I was like, they're just gonna let Chloe be mayor.
Like, I like some of the things we do. We'll talk about it in more detail probably towards the end because it's got buried. It's going to get buried a little bit. But I am not the biggest fan of Chloe as mayor, and the continued focus of Cerise and Chloe. But I've kind of come to terms with it in terms of, like, this is the Chloe finale, and I, like, wonder if she's gone from the show heading into season 6.
They're, like, banishing her to London.
Yeah, so, like, I kind of, like, I'm okay with this as a Chloe finale. It's maybe better than them not addressing her at all. It's just, like, this is so deep into the season to be doing Chloe stuff. But they felt it's huge, you know, they clearly felt it was big. And it was big. It was, like, in scope. It was, just not the content we necessarily were really wanting, I think. There's really good stuff in the beginning of Collusion, though. This Bustier stuff's great. Revolution, I think Revolution's really rushed the Chloe stuff as mayor. There's like this second segment of Revolution, which is the most fast-paced Ladybug has been, which is saying something.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay though. I'm okay with speeding through it, but once we slow down, the show is better. And the last 5 minutes were incredible with the kiss. I really loved it. It was so beautiful. I wish we could have slowed down and drawn out that stuff more throughout the episode. I think Ladybug continues to very frequently rush through big moments when there's just these gorgeous shots in the show. Just like, it's really underrated how beautifully animated Ladybug is. At like the shot of Marinette sadly looking up at the plane leaving at the end of the episode. The kiss is beautifully animated. But it felt very fast. But then we get to representation, and this episode like properly slowed down. I felt like
yeah,
it was gorgeous. And it didn't feel super rushed with the beautiful shots, of which there are many in this episode.
I feel like every shot in representation was absolutely gorgeous.
It's clearly especially animated. It's like everything is so beautiful, yeah.
Even like Rose and Julika getting hit with the little, I don't know, thing.
Yeah.
Like even those, I was just like stunned. I was like, why is this so pretty right now?
It was really beautiful. The story and the themes of the episode, I think, are really good. But it's like the visuals, I think, are the best part. And honestly, overall, I think representation might be the best Ladybug episode. It's one day. It's today it aired. So, but
like ever.
Ooh.
Ever. I mean,
Ever?
I think the best Ladybug episode ever is this season. So it's between this, the Argos episode 9, and the 2-part hero, when they Stop Being Ladybug and Cat. I love those two episodes. I think those are your
I don't know.
your
This is so hard.
Anyway,
I can't pick right now.
They're all great.
Yeah,
Ask me later.
And if you can take the last 5 minutes of Revolution separately, then include that.
Okay.
I love the presentation of the lore, the backstory. I think it was very fun, very dramatic. Just, I personally was very frustrated we did not get the whole thing.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I think it feels great as a setup, like, to the finale. It's
Yeah.
like very tension filled. This whole episode, we get like the whole framing of the lore, just not the key parts that we need.
Well, and I'm sure there's a reason for that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
And that's the big question. And I also really liked Adrian confronting his father one last time, I think, is what we're setting up here. And I'll get into my specific predictions based on this. I think it just start to finish, so beautiful. I think this just really shows Ladybug at its best and clears so much care and everything put into it. And I have a lot more to say about the backstory stuff, obviously.
Big kiss.
Do you want to talk about the kiss before the?
Yes.
I think we have to.
Okay, we can put the kiss first.
We can start on a positive note. Let's do it.
Yeah, before.
You guys said you loved the backstory. Okay.
Yeah, but we have things to discuss.
Okay, let's set up the kiss in Revolution. So Marinette finally learns from Adrian that he's going to London. And then she like scooters to the tarmac and
so good. Her scooter is like heavily featured in these episodes. It's great.
Main character energy.
Yes.
Somehow completely gets past any airport security, which is just this one baggage check guy. And I guess he's the wavy guy with the stick. What's that guy called?
I don't know. What are they called?
Oh, I know this in my brain somewhere.
I feel like I know this. And then kisses on what they kiss on the like landing thing.
It's like the gangplank.
Yeah.
Gangplank. Is that what it's called? I'm googling.
Yes.
Gangplank.
Wait, do you not know about the I say term?
Wow,
gangplank?
I didn't know. I don't know. Maybe I've heard it and it hasn't sunk in before. Gangplank.
Well, it's because it's from like when we had like ships.
It's from a ship, yeah.
Yeah.
It says ship or
like
boat,
boats.
so it doesn't say specifically for plane, but yeah. Okay.
No, but I think they still call it that because it's essentially the same idea.
And then they kiss, and we get the spinning around.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, beautiful.
And then they get pulled apart, and they're still kissing.
Gorella's like, I don't want to do this.
It's finally our Adrinette kiss that we have been building up and waiting for.
And it was absolutely amazing.
Did it live?
They beat Bones. Good job, guys.
Yeah, only you know what you're talking about.
It took Bones 6 seasons.
Oh, okay. You're saying it's taking a long time for a kiss. Okay.
Yes.
Delaney...
Technically, they win anyway because they actually got together, but they didn't even get together until season 6.
Did this live up to the hype, Delaney?
I think so. It's like sad that it's like a sad kiss, but they're all, we had all imagined it in different ways, or it would be a reveal, this. No, I think this was really good, and it felt natural, especially considering like Rose is pressuring and then like them struggling to kiss in previous episodes.
Yeah, they were definitely setting up the previous one, and yeah, they'd been waiting the whole time. So like 10 episodes they've been building to it.
We got like this super dramatic, like sad romance movie kiss. It was great.
Yeah, so super cinematic. April, did it live up to the hype for you?
Absolutely. It was gorgeous. I loved the setup of it, and especially because, like you said, Rose was like, when are you guys going to kiss? How can you do this so right but be so wrong at the same time? And them saying, like, they're waiting, like, they're not in any kind of hurry. They're waiting for the right moment. And that could not have been a more beautiful moment. I cried. I'm remembering it now.
I almost cried.
Yay.
Yeah, I was just so happy. I was sad, but also, like, so happy because, like, the kiss meant so much to them, and it meant so much to us. And to, like, finally, like, get it was just incredible. A beautiful experience. So, also, I think they did it in front of Gabriel, and take that, Gabriel.
Take that, Gabe.
Yeah.
And he's like, what he was like, pull them apart. I'm like, you just don't like. Why are the people listening to you?
Like he only helped it because it made it that much more dramatic.
Exactly.
He really contributed. We should thank Gabe
Thank you, Gabriel,
for setting up all this drama for the kiss.
We appreciate you. Not really.
I do still. Okay.
No.
We'll talk about him.
Boo, he sucks.
I thought it was beautiful. I think it lived up. I think it's like they've kissed before in episode 9, just not as Marinette and Adrian. So
exactly, it feels different. I mean, because it is different.
It feels
They're
different.
not the same people.
Yeah, I think the show clearly felt this was like a key thing in the whole series, and like I understand, but you know they'd kissed before. But it was still great, and it was so beautiful. I think it's one of the most beautiful scenes of the show. I love how much they went for it. They kissed for a long time.
Went for it.
They did. It was great.
They went for it in terms of the spinorama with the camera around them. Like cheesy but gorgeous. It's like perfect for this show.
I honestly did not even think of it as cheesy. I was just in the moment.
If we think about like all the shows we've covered and like, you know, big, like, you know, like they get together kisses. It's tough. It's tough for me to say, but it might.
Cheesy.
It's pretty cheesy, but I'm like, it might. I don't know. It's either above or right next to the Katang kiss. At the end, the actual kiss, not.
Yeah, but that's a good comparison because they kissed before too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like goes for it cinematically like the Katang kiss.
So
I agree. So I just watched Elemental, the Pixar movie.
Okay.
Which I really loved, by the way. So spoilers, but I'll keep it vague for Elemental, so skip at it. But,
okay, good, because I haven't seen it yet.
I'm going to spoil it, but whatever.
That's my plans for this evening.
I mean, it's like a romance movie, so like.
Aww.
It's a romance movie. So there's a kiss in it they go for like the kiss. Smash cut replay of the kiss again. Smash replay again of the kiss. Like that's like such a classic too. Like we have to see it 3 times in a row, and I loved it. There, it's so cheesy
in like 4 different angles.
Yeah, but it's like bang, bang, bang. Like I feel like they could have done that one too. Like that would have fit the show too in this one. But I love the spin. Like here, I thought that was.
No, the spin is like the greatest thing ever.
Yes.
It's the music I think was really incredible this scene too, and then to punctuate it with the just Marinette looking up, and then it fades into the splash screen at the end that we always get with Marinette there, and then the same shot. It's I think it's the best use of splash screen in the show. Gorgeously set up shot. Only complaint is the framing, which this is at the end of an unrelated episode with Chloe, so it's like I can't go and rewatch the Kiss episode, right? It's like this is the Chloe episode, a Chloe as Mayor episode with the kiss at the end, and that's very Ladybug that we're like so rushed and stuff. We don't give this its own episode. I mean, I don't know how you would have done it, but it's you can still rewatch the ending, and it's
kind of like when Amity kisses Luz. Like the first time, like when she kisses her on the cheek, you have to go through that whole episode to get like.
You're like,
yeah, and there's other segments too.
Of this episode.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so good. Any other thoughts? So where are we in Adrinette now?
What do you mean? I mean,
they love each other forever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they're being very dramatic, by the way. They're like, "Oh, love Marinette forever. Like, we'll never be apart."
I don't blame them.
When you're like 12, that's how it is.
And not to jump ahead, but Felix and Kagami are like, "We're in love now." It's like
it's so good.
I
completely bought that. I'm completely fine with that.
You're all 14. Like, what are you like?
Yeah, you know what? Spoiler alert. I don't know if this is a spoiler because it's already happened, but I was madly in love with my boyfriend at like 14 too, and we were going to be together forever.
Yeah, I didn't have
Did that happen? Like
no, it didn't. But
so yeah, spoiler alert for all these children's lives. Like it doesn't usually last forever. Children,
Dylan, this is a cartoon. They're going to be together.
This is fantasy.
Marinette and Adrian are the main characters.
Aang decided he loved Kotaro when he was 12. Okay?
And they're and now we're going to see them always together in all the upcoming. Yeah, so that's just how it works.
They call each other sweetie. God, they're the worst.
At 12, yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, this is important. Season 6, Marinette and Adrian are together. What are their pet names for each other?
Okay, this is a good question. Ooh, this is hard. I feel like it's going to be like bakery related.
One of them has to
Muffin?
be like hamster related.
Oh,
Because
hamster.
they're going to have a hamster when they're older and together.
Muffin would be good for Marinette.
Ooh, Muffin. Ooh, I don't know. And okay, the thing is, like, Adrian's weird though, so like he might come up with a really weird one.
What about my pancake?
Oh, that was another one I was thinking about.
Oh, that's cute. I feel like he's gonna
or like Chouquette, because that's what
Chouquette. Oh, that would be really
because
good.
what
That's
Marinette.
good.
I corrected your spelling, by the way. You
On
like
Chouquette?
butchered that.
I mean, it's not
In your
English
defense,
word.
it's French,
Yeah.
but like it was wrong.
I feel like Adrian's gonna call Marinette like Camembert or something like
God.
that. Because
Okay. This would be really
he
funny.
spends too much time with
don't-
Plog.
So like they don't have them yet, and then Plog keeps trying to give Adrian ideas, and it's just cheese.
He
like,
called. I would love it.
Bugaboo.
Yeah, he calls her Sugar.
Yeah, I mean, we already have Bugaboo. That's true, and
Sugar Bear?
stuff like that. Sugar
yeah.
Bear, it's good. Cat. Yeah, Cat has pet names for Ladybug already. It is a good.
Yeah.
And my kitty. I mean, the Ladybug has too. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm still really mad. Like I know it was like so typical of them, but like when he's cat, and then he detransforms, and then Marinette's like literally like 2 seconds from bursting through the
they
roof.
just miss each other.
It
Classic.
was like it was so classic, and I had like a mini stroke about it. I was
Okay.
like,
That's more in line. Yeah. I think another good one is if once the identity reveal happens and they call each other their like Ladybug and Cat pet names as Marinette
Yes.
and Adrian.
I feel like they would have to do like an identity reveal for the entire world at that point.
Yeah, well, when
Because
they're in
just be, like-
privates,
They
like,
can't just be like walking down the street and
No.
like
Yeah, they
calling
can,
each
it's
other
fine.
Bugaboo.
They're-
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's
They've
fine.
been transforming out in the most random places.
they're
Ugh.
alone on the Eiffel Tower, and Marinette calls Adrian my kitty. You know.
oh my god, the
Ah,
most ever is when they were in detention and they just like kicked this thing off the wall, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna transform here." Like I hate
yes.
y'all are
So,
so,
very secretive. Transforming.
so annoying.
It was
Oh
great.
my god. At least Aya was there pretending to like. At least she was there pretending to guard.
I loved Alia. She was like, let's take this thing out. Like, she was into it.
Other Adrinette moments in these episodes. In the beginning of Collusion, I loved them video chatting from the
Oh my god,
the second they wake up.
Cute. How
And-
extremely 15 of them. It's so
And
cute.
Yeah.
they brush their teeth together on video chat.
So
I
good.
loved it.
Reminded me of one of my favorite animated scenes ever. Star and Marco doing the lip sync
Yes!
toothbrush in the beginning of Just Friends. Oh my god, I'm a sucker for this stuff, and it's. I love Ladybug has its version, and they're always talking and stuff. And then in Revolution, we mentioned that they're like almost kissing a bunch, and Rose gets like really frustrated with them.
The fact that Rose gets mad is so funny.
Perfect.
Yeah, what do they call it? They call each other something too. There,
They're being really annoying. I don't remember. They're like, no, you are. No, you are. And
Yeah,
Rose
yeah,
is
yeah.
like, I'm going to kill both of you.
I know. Anything else on Adrinette?
They're adorable.
Yeah.
We were cheated. So we got to see Marinette in her super cute dress, which I don't think was highlighted enough in the episode. And then on top of that, we didn't get to see Adrian dressed up. We were robbed.
We got to see him dressed up. Well, no, I guess that was Felix dressed up. Just
We were
kidding.
robbed.
By the way,
We've been
the thing was in Collusion. By the way, I apologize. They go kiss several times. They call each other. You're perfect. You're perfect.
You're it's so
Oh.
annoying.
That's so
So
annoying.
irritating.
You're
I
so
wanna
cute, but
strangle 'em.
but so irritating too. Says Rose.
I also enjoyed Rose's threat. So I thought her threat was she was going to make them kiss, like now kiss, but no.
Like, force their heads
Do it
together.
or I'll
Yeah,
kiss you
no.
both.
She's like, no, I'll kiss you. And I'm like, Rose, I don't think that's the threat that you think it is. Like,
Yeah.
hilarious.
Like, all right, let's do this, Rose.
Like, no one's upset about this. Like, it's okay.
Marinette's dress. Did we love it?
I
Yes,
love
it's
it.
amazing. So cute. Her and her mascara made me sad.
Yeah. What do we think?
I
What
loved
do we think
it.
of the pink skulls on the dress?
It's adorable. I would never peg Marinette as a skulls person.
I know,
but
right?
She
Yeah.
really wears them.
You watched Wednesday.
Yeah, she would.
She was inspired.
Sarah reminded me that she was in the one episode. She was inspired by the flag on the ship, which is where that came from.
Oh.
That makes sense.
So we got the whole dress origin story earlier. We finally see it. Yeah, I didn't think skulls either, but I guess Marinette's a secret emo girl.
She's a little punk rock.
Little punk.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it from her grandma too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And from Luca.
Yeah.
Boo.
Look, that's the only time Luca's ever going to be mentioned in this podcast. Don't worry.
I don't believe you, but okay.
I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah, I had my fingers crossed. Okay, let's talk about the big presentation by Felix and Kagami with the Senna Monster. Really,
You're so dramatic.
The backstory of the sisters, I guess. More like it. Well, Delaney, how do you think this was presented?
Like, did I like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Ladybug always does, like, I think they do really neat things with how they, like, we've had stuff like this before. I liked it, like, visually, it was good. And then also, like, it kind of has that, it was very French, and also, you kind of had this, like, they're not really no masks, but, like, the kind of, like, this, like Japanese theater kind of aspect to it, too.
Yeah, kabuki. Interesting.
Yeah, it was very it was like visually like stunning. I really enjoyed it a lot. It was also funny, like the little details, like on their clothes.
Yeah.
And, the maternity costume's hilarious. Generally, I just really enjoyed it. I also like enjoy like the concept of Kagami and Felix like having to do this. Like they had to practice this.
I literally wrote that down. I was like, did they practice this?
They had
How long
to
did it
have.
take them to perfect it? How long have they been planning this?
Like, exactly. Like it was. I did enjoy it. I think it's really neat. It's also like as a concept stupid. like conceptually, this is so stupid. But like I enjoyed it a lot.
It's so in terms of what happens, we get the Senna Monster projector, and then Marinette watches the projector, but she wakes up and the projector's gone and she's like in the room again. So I think the projector like went into her mind and she watched it like in her head, right?
Okay, this is what I was trying to figure out. I was deeply confused because I was like, because at first when he summons it, I thought it was supposed to like record her. I didn't realize until afterwards that it was like playing it.
Yeah. But I think it's like incepted it into her head, and she kind of watched it.
That makes sense. Because that was the other.
It's not. I'm not saying that definitively. It's pretty unclear what's going on.
That makes sense though, because I was really confused. Like when she woke up, like they just knock her out afterwards. Like what? Why is she unconscious? So that makes sense if they did it that way.
Yeah. So it's like, did they record it? Was the projector connected to their minds, and they were like projecting from their minds into her mind, and that was a visual representation of that.
That would explain how they were able to, like, quote unquote, quickly change their masks, if that makes sense. Like, because they had, like, what looked like the drawings to represent each person's face. And they just
right, like, they had a lot of props and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
This, I did not know that Felix and Kagami are such theater kids.
Right? I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't know. They're both really dramatic.
This is like their avant-garde play that they put on for.
It's intense. Like I was like, you guys had to plan this out. You wrote a script, like
right.
This is a lot of work.
Like they're so dramatic. Like this is,
I love it.
You guys get together and now your ultimate theater kid energy putting on this play for them.
Okay, let's be honest though. They're like, they're like super annoying. Like I'm really about it.
I mean, they kissed twice and they got together like 2 days ago.
I'm not upset. It works.
I'm also not upset.
So let's go over the information we get that we can come back to them.
Okay.
Oh boy. So do we need to recap everything? I mean, this would be the thing to go over in detail, right?
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom, which is the UK, by the way.
Which is not that far.
Yep.
Not that far. I did not.
Okay.
I didn't put it together that Emily's family is British before.
I didn't either.
That
it makes sense. That's where Amelie lives, but like,
I guess they're probably like dukes or something, and they have a castle because of that.
Yeah, well, probably.
I mean, are we taking it literal that
yeah, right. It's unclear if they're literally like princesses, and I mean, clearly they're not like literal princesses.
The thing, well, I don't. Yeah. They could be though. We don't know.
This
like
is the
they're
royal
not. I
family.
think
In
this
the
is
Ladybug
just,
world,
like-
this is the royal family.
So
Oh,
my thing is, I mean,
no.
we had Prince Ali. I don't think they're actual literal prince.
They could have been some form of nobility in Britain.
Yeah, like they could be like. I mean, there's like so many of them. Like,
they could be. That's not how I interpreted it, though.
You thought this was like a fantasy presentation.
Yeah, they were just like, "Hey, we're gonna tell you this story.
Yeah,
Get it?"
I think that's right. Yeah. They could stay. Yeah, it could be some status, but it's clearly not the status that is presented here.
They're just
Yeah.
extremely rich. That's really it.
The king and the
there,
queen.
there it is.
The king and the queen. So Emily and Amelie's parents with double rings. The Graham Dave Vanelli twin rings. That they don't say their last name in the episode. That is the whole backstory of the Graham Davinelli sisters. And they have the rings, and then they have two girls, the firstborn twin girls, Emily, who they give the rings to. She's the curious princess who leaves the court. Is Emily Adrian's mom, right? And then the younger, by a few seconds, good princess Amelie stays in the castle. And Emily finds love with humble tailor Gabriel, which we also kind of saw the backstory to this last group of episodes. And we see kind of the explanation here. She gave up her title, which I guess is like metaphorical, but could be literal to some extent.
Yeah.
I just took it as she was just like, "I'm abandoning you, family."
Yeah. She gave up her wealth, I think they say, to live with the tailor, which we see them in the attic. And the mayor also gives us more details on this. Remember when we were penniless and you helped me with Andre. And I love how this all comes together in this group of episodes. Not to the extent where we answer our major questions, as I'll go over, but we get the backstory of them up into a point. And they get married with the separated rings. They each have one of the rings, and that's their wedding rings, right? Mm-hmm. Younger Amelie marries heartless Lord of War, who we only heard mention of from Felix in like just recently, his like terrible father. Yes. Both couples want children. Time passes, they can't. Emily returns to the court with Gabriel for remedies to have children. Okay, here's some key points because we're missing some stuff here. So, and here's the narration. Until one day, the curious princess learned that she was expecting. So, no information on Emily using the Peacock Miraculous to create a child. This is all we get. Until one day, the curious princess learned that she was expecting. But keep in mind that this is from Felix's perspective here.
Yes, I was just about to say that we're not going to get the whole story because we're only going to know what Felix has been told by his mom.
Yeah. So ultimately, this is Felix's POV. I think that's kind of a key point. I agree. We do get basically the whole Emily and Gabriel story up until the Senna Monster creation, though. I don't think we're gonna get like a ton more up until now. I think we know the story. It's just we didn't see she used the broken Peacock Miraculous and then fell sick. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, keep going,
okay.
And then I'll interrupt again.
The Lord of War talks to Gabriel. Gabriel says, "Maybe it's a miracle." I think this is another key line that potentially hints at it. "Maybe it's a miracle," says Gabriel. Emily asks Gabriel if he can do something so the sister can have a child. "After much studying, I've discovered a solution for you and your wife, but there will be a price to pay." So this could be a lie, right? After much studying, they already used the solution.
Well, yeah. And they warned him of the price to pay, which means using the broken Peacock Miraculous.
Yeah. You give me your best knight in exchange for lending the Peacock Amulet. So best knight being implied, the gorilla came from Felix's dad. Yeah. So I guess that's the gorilla backstory we'll get. And we got Natalie backstory earlier this season. So it's all coming together. The Lord of War makes the child and puts the amok in his ring. So I think this is another key thing. We have a definitive answer to where's Felix's amok stored. It is not in one of the Graham Davinelli rings confirmed by this backstory. It is in a separate ring. That's not confusing at all. Presumably his dad's ring that he just had or something.
Yes.
Yeah, he got it off his dad's dead body.
Yeah, and then he got...
Yes.
That's totally a normal thing to say, Delaney.
That's what he said in the episode.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally what happened.
They gave birth to 2 little boys as similar as their mothers were, and we get the A and F on their bibs or whatever.
Yep.
We get the return of the creepy baby dolls from previous
Yeah.
Adrinette moments. As similar, the 2 little boys similar, same time, you know. Lord of War fell ill as the price and hates the child. The miraculous child did not understand. Felix referring to himself as the miraculous child. I think that's a funny way to talk about Senna monsters, is miraculous children.
I think
I agree.
But I feel like it's extremely intentional.
Oh yeah. I love all their intentionality with miraculous, the use of monster before.
I also enjoy Marinette's really useless interjections, like when
and it's like, oh, it's Felix, because at the beginning she thought it was Adrian. Like,
Yeah, and
I
then-
realize it's Felix now.
and then she's like, when I lost the miraculous, like, duh.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that part because
So I mean, I like that they have Marinette interject so we understand that she understands certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very least, but not the key things. So Marinette says, oh, it's Felix about the miraculous child. Obligated to obey all his father's orders, and we get that in extensive detail. The ring breaks. We see the ring, like, splintering, and Felix collapses as, like, an explanation for how the child realized his life was linked to that ring. So I guess... I think there's probably more to the story on how he figured it out, but that's maybe his first clue, I guess, that he was affected by the ring. His father died, and he recovered the ring and his freedom. So he's had his own ring the whole time.
yeah.
Through all our season 4 speculating, he's just always at it.
Which, I mean, then I understand then where the, like, I feel like people will be like, well, then what was the point in him taking the other rings? But I think it was just because he was trying to protect his cousin.
Yeah, I think so, and also as leverage. I think that these are 2 reasons we've seen. It's been spelled out. He's been trying to look out for Adrian, and this, I think, backstory spells out that he was looking for leverage to recover the peacock. Yeah, so I think those are 2 both good explanations. The amulet gave him life and could also take it away, so he has to go to Gabriel, and he steals the other miraculous so he can make an exchange for the peacock, and Marinette recognizes that as, oh, it's the season 4 finale.
Okay. In that scene, he very clearly shows Gabriel to Marinette, as he says, had to make the exchange. So she knows, right?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That she shows Gabriel as... So she, like, it's not spelled out in the story that he's exchanging with Monarch, but she was there when and we see her recognize this as the events of the season 4 finale.
We see her recognize this event that took place, but it is very important that Felix did not put Monarch in
Gabriel.
He put Gabriel there, and
Well, and the whole point is they're like, we need you to get it from the tailor.
The tailor.
Yes.
Right. Oh, and he literally. Okay. I didn't appreciate this aspect. Like the fact that the call to action to her is get this from the tailor, who she should know from the backstory is Gabriel. Defeat the tailor. Defeat Monarch. The tailor is Monarch. I guess they are telling her.
They're telling her
the identity of Monarch. I didn't even realize that.
Because it was whenever they started talking about the tailor that she was just like, oh, I know what story we're talking about. Like, she recognized.
So here are the 2 things Marinette says after in terms of her recognition. She says, I'll help you, as she looks out the window. And then to Tiki, she says, I don't think the fairy tale is over yet, right? Something like that.
Yep.
Because Tiki's like, that was a terrible story.
Okay, this is April's best call. I mean, this should have been obvious, but this is implied. So in terms of what Marinette understands, okay, we'll come back to this. Let's finish the story. But Marinette... You
can't see my happy dance right now, but it's happening.
Okay, they take Felix and Kagami take off the masks. But okay, I will say the only other thing in terms of like they show her Gabriel is considering this is all like art installation potentially inside Marinette's mind. It's a little unclear exactly what she's seeing versus maybe what we're seeing. So I guess it's
That's
possible
fair.
they're giving her the story. We're seeing Gabriel, but maybe she's not seeing the exact same visuals. But the counterpoint is they tell her the Taylor is the one you need to confront, right?
Yeah.
So that's not just in their mind.
Yeah, because he not only like shows Gabriel, and I mean, I guess you could say like, oh, maybe that's not what she's seeing, but I'm gonna take it as she's seeing that, and he's constantly referred to Gabriel as the Taylor, and then says, "I made like."
Yeah. So okay,
we need your help to stop the Taylor.
So they take off the masks. Then the miraculous boy met a girl like him, and they fell in love and wanted to be free. Fell in love since 4 episodes ago.
Don't worry about that.
They need Ladybug's help to stop the Taylor and fix things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She wakes up, she sees the feather, and then she stares out the window and says, "I'll help you." Yeah.
Woo!
It's a great call that they say stop the Taylor. Like Marinette doesn't just have a call. So they do tell her. Wow. They tell her that.
They tell her. I'm going to be so mad.
If she doesn't know. I mean, look.
If she doesn't know.
Here's a big caveat, April.
No, there's no caveat.
April, I have a big caveat for you. Marinette is really dumb.
Stop it.
It's a big caveat. It really is.
It's very possible she just didn't
I
recognize
need her to
it.
be smart, please.
She's pretty stupid.
She's pretty dumb. And then on top of that, it's like, obviously, Adrian's a scent monster, but that's not it.
So here's the question. What does Marinette take away from this presentation?
Felix is a scent monster.
Number one, maybe Felix is a scent monster, right? This is explicitly told to her.
Oh, okay. And they also say Kagami is, but I don't know if she got that.
So here's that. Right. So let's talk about that first. In terms of like, we're waiting for the show to explicitly call everyone scent monsters. We said it was confirmed Felix, Kagami, Adrian, based on the earlier episodes, because it wasn't stated literally, but they walked around it in an explicit way. So we said it was explicit. However, in this backstory, literally we see the process of Felix being a scent monster that is spelled out for us. So this is 100% stated now, and Marinette has to recognize that.
But not only that, I need her so much to be smart, because
Now let's see.
He's not only saying that he's a scent monster. He's saying Adrian is too.
Let's start with Kagami. This is step 1. I think she understands Felix. But does she understand Kagami as a scent monster? He says, then the miraculous boy met a girl like him. So this is heavily implying she's a scent monster.
I think she might have figured this out.
And she sees that they're in love, and she sees that it's based on the connection that they're like each other.
Yes. If she walks away from this and knows Felix is a scent monster, and thinks Kagame is, but doesn't think Adrian is, I'm going to murder her.
Well, she's dead, because that's 100%.
April, I think here's the ranking of information Marinette might glean from this. Number 1, Felix is a scent monster. I think that's the most likely thing for her to glean from this. Number 2, Kagami is a scent monster. I think she's most second likely to glean that information. Number 3, now that we've talked about it, Gabriel is Monarch. I think that's the third most likely thing she would take away. And dead last, and I am very sure she doesn't take this away, is Adrian as a scent monster.
She does not. That's not. Yep. She doesn't get that.
You are killing me.
Yep. That's 100% what happened.
Look, okay. If I'm gonna be honest, if she at least gets 3 out of 4, I will be okay. But she has to get that Gabriel is Monarch.
So you'll take
50-50.
it as long as she gets that she's Gabriel's Monarch and Kagami's a scent monster. Look, asking Marinette to get a C on understanding.
That's all I'm asking.
Understanding this stuff is a tall
high expectations. High expectations.
Look, I just need her to be
Everyone
smart.
in the show is so stupid.
The reason why I think it's least likely that she takes away that Adrian is a scent monster is because Felix intentionally presents it in a misleading way to her.
That is true.
He repeats the lie that Gabriel tells the Lord of War, right, that it's like, after much studying, I've
It was a
discovered a
miracle.
solution, and it's a miracle. He repeats the lies. Now, Felix knows that these are lies, but he's just saying what he was told, and he probably wants to present this to Marinette, as Delaney stated, because he thinks it's probably not his place to intervene about this with Adrian.
Yes.
So, like,
I mean, you could still know things without, like, and...
Could she read between the lines that, hey, two twin babies who look exactly the same, born at the same time, one is a Cenomonster, oh, maybe the other's a Cenomonster. Yeah, I think she could take that away.
If she can't read between those lines, but understand that when Felix says, and then he met a girl who is just like her, and then is like, oh yeah, Kagami is a Cenomonster too. If she can read between those lines, she should be able to read between the other lines. But more importantly, I need her to know that Gabriel is Monarch.
I think she'll know Gabriel's Monarch. Honestly, I'm tempted to put that at number 2 ahead of Kagami, but I feel like she does also know Kagami. I
feel like she should.
Here's the thing. I think that my thematic reading of the Cat Noir and Monarch fight this episode was...
Ooh, I loved that fight.
This was them facing off one last time before Monarch is unmasked.
Yes.
Or Cat Noir is unmasked.
Also, they were literally like, well, if I was your kid.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
They were all, I mean, it's not,
No.
yeah, I said it like I was making some smart point, but it's pretty, I do think that's like pretty, the show is pretty heavy-handedly saying that Monarch is about to be unmasked and probably die in the finale. That's probably my most confident finale prediction in terms of huge things happening is the world will learn, or at least Marinette and Adrian will learn that Monarch is Gabriel.
That's going to be so rough on her, though, because does she tell Adrian? I mean, I guess she'll tell Cat Noir.
I mean, I think she probably doesn't tell him immediately, waits for the moment that it happens in the fight, I guess. That would be my guess. You know?
I mean, it would...
Like, wait until we Scooby-Doo take off his mask and not, like...
Maybe. But I feel like that's important enough information that even though she learned it as Marinette, she's going to be Ladybug when she tells Cat Noir. So...
Yeah, I mean, I think she'll be Ladybug. It'll be in the heart of the action, I think, probably.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I think
depends if we get an identity reveal. Well, that we'll speculate on that. But this is an identity reveal. We'll get one identity reveal in the finale.
We got an identity reveal. Also, Kagami knows that Marinette is Ladybug.
And Kagami, yeah, okay, we're going to talk about that next.
Okay.
Okay, so as many takeaways as Marinette could have, as we talked about, I think there are in terms of the audience, we missed out on the 3 most important things from this backstory about the Emily and Gabriel backstory. Number 1, Adrian is a Cenomonster. Not elaborated on except for implication in this story, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 2, Gabriel and Tomoe's plans for Kagami and Adrian, right? And they're being made for each other. Didn't touch on that at all.
No.
Number 3, Emily dying or going into a coma. Not touched on. So these are the 3 things I most wanted to see from the backstory. And we just got a backstory that didn't feature any of them.
Well, I think we kind of touched on it, though, because this is a backstory told from Felix and his mom's point of view. So Amelie may not know. Because the way that I interpret it was that in the same sense that his father died from using the Miraculous, that
did he like just die?
Yeah,
I mean, potentially. They don't really say, but it feels like it would have been within the same time frame as like Emily dying.
Because that's my question. Like, is it like? So I kind of had like a messed up little idea.
Yes.
So like obviously the peacock, like it was broken when. Well, I don't know if it was broken when Emily used it.
We would have loved to have learned that here.
That would have been great. So I don't know if it was broken when she used it or if it broke when she used it, and then
yes,
because
yes,
Because I'm like, so either it's, the messed up magic with a broken miraculous that, caused the illness, or as the child grows, the life force of the parent depletes.
No, I love that.
So that's what I'm curious, because,
that is a messed up little theory.
Isn't it a little messed up? Terrible.
I love it.
It's awful.
So much.
And because that's the big thing I want to know about Felix's dad, because
we as far as we know, Emily just recently went into the coma.
Exactly.
So I think probably Felix's
a year
dad.
ago.
Yeah, Felix's dad could have been recent too. Could have.
And so let's say I'm gonna make a Sentimonster, and we're making a child. And another thing, this was confirmed. They were children and they are growing up.
That's a big thing we learned. That is true. We learned that they are not replacements for dead children like we potentially originally thought. They were original Now, Felix is an original Sentimonster. In theory, there could be more to the Adrian story. We didn't see
Correct.
It.
Well, because I also wonder.
My only other thing is Natalie. Granted, Natalie's used it a lot, and I would assume the others did not.
Natalie
use it
looks
as much.
very bad.
Yeah, Natalie is not looking well. I don't know.
She's been using it for the school year, and not even the whole time. She's dying.
And I guess Emily eventually went into a coma after using it once, right?
Yes, and also
yes.
Natalie was using it repaired.
Yes. So it is a good point that maybe it's not fully about the brokenness of the peacock. Maybe it's there's
is it a feature? Is it a feature of the peacock?
It's like a feature that it's not intended for these Sentimonsters to be alive forever, and that I like that idea.
I like the idea, but Natalie being dead just kind of, I don't know, that doesn't play into it for me, because because she's dying. She's a hardcore dying.
Right? She's dying.
She didn't create a senti monster in the same way that.
Yeah, I guess it's because
she's
still using the broken one, but it is a good point. It's not the same as the other ones. Yeah.
Now this makes me wonder. So when Gabriel was there's a price, that it's the peacock. There's something about the peacock.
Well, I think that's what I took it as, is that when he said that there's a price that you have to pay, he knows that they used the broken miraculous, and that eventually Emily's time was going to come and Felix's dad's time was going to come.
But then there's the thing, Natalie's been using it not broken, and she's dying.
Yeah. Although, maybe repaired's bad, too.
Well, and I also wonder if it's because they only used it, Emily and Felix's dad only used it once.
Yeah, and Emily's
used
it a bunch. It's possible
Natalie used it a whole lot.
But I like this. I like highlighting that the price is not necessarily information that we fully, I guess, knew about, because we think of the prices associated with the wish.
Right.
But they say there's a price for using this. Is it because it's broken, or is there something inherent to the peacock?
Well, that makes me wonder, are there really prices to the other miraculous as well? Is there really a sacrifice when you use any of them?
But didn't Tiki and or Plog say that if you make a wish, there's a price that has to be paid? Or I guess they more so just implied that the world would be rewritten.
Well, the literal price. I mean, the thing is, they're the literal powers of creation and destruction. So when you make the wish, the cataclysm destroys the universe and then
recreates it. Yeah, that's what I said.
And then recreates it.
That makes sense.
So this is a different thing. By the way, just in case I forget it later, they haven't really mentioned the wish in a hot minute.
No, they haven't.
I guess Gabriel has said he says this is now I'm going to bring you back to life. But I don't know if the fact that they aren't talking about it is because they want it to be more of a big thing when it does come up, or because he's not actually going to make the wish, he'll just come close.
I think it's related to, so here's the thing. So we've been talking, we've talked about the wish previously, and Tomoe called him out several times, and now we're getting to the thing that involves Tomoe with the alliance rings.
So we'll talk about it, but you don't think this is the wish, this is the other thing. I see. I assume that they're the same. But.
I believe
unless they believe that Tomoe and Gabriel found a way to from essentially disintegrating all of the other Miraculouses, they found a way to build their own Miraculouses.
Well, what I think they're gonna do something like horrible, like brainwash the whole planet or something.
Yeah.
And get
It wouldn't be hard.
Right, and then because that's what I took away from like the end was, okay, our children are safe for our terrible thing we're going to do, so that we can get the miraculous and make the wish.
Yeah. So this could be a step to the wish. It could be okay. We'll come back to that. Is what exactly is going to happen in the finale?
I have no idea. And then on top of that, we keep forgetting that Lila has the robots.
Yeah, that'll come into play for sure.
There's so much.
Okay, we'll come back to this. The three things we're missing. So April brings up that in the backstory, April brings up that this is Felix's POV. Are we satisfied with that? Here's my thing. I love that we get Felix's kind of POV backstory here. I love how it's presented. I just don't think that if we don't get the Gabriel side of the backstory in season 5, that will be satisfying as a conclusion to this kind of arc.
He has a villain while I'm dying monologue. Like, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like,
that is fully what I'm expecting. Moment.
I think he's dying. Everything's going to be revealed. Like, I think either he is unmasked or Adrian is unmasked, and he's going to have to tell Adrian everything, and then he dies.
You guys are kind of convincing me, because my thing after I saw this, I'm like, okay, this is the backstory episode. Look, honestly, we're coming off of Owl House, and Owl House gives us part of the story in season 3, episode 1, in a similar weird way of presenting the backstory.
Yeah.
Also great. And then we don't get the rest, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking here, is because I've been burned so many times. I'm like, I think that vision is give us some, leave us in suspense for seasons going forward. That's kind of what I was thinking after this episode.
So Delaney of 5 years ago would like be hitting me, being like, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous. Here's the thing. Ladybug, I'm fully confident now that we are going to get all of our answers. Now, whether it's going to be now or 6 years from now is a completely different situation, but they have been seeding all of these things.
Yeah.
We've gone from unserialized to Alya knows to now Kagami and Felix know.
Look, the identity reveals and the Gabe backstory, they're coming at least eventually. The question is it coming the next 2 weeks for us?
And that's the thing, because I think because of this backstory and because he is literally dying, it has to be now.
That is true that I do think he will die. So that's a good point. Like, doesn't he have to tell us now?
I was going to say, it's going to depend on how quickly his health declines.
Okay, or he dies, everyone's sad, and then before Natalie dies, Natalie reveals it all.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, Natalie, yeah.
Or Natalie leaves a video. I'm crying.
She leaves a video.
Oh, Emily style?
Adrian.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, I'm going to cry.
That's like the post credits of part 2 of the finale.
Stop it.
That'd be so sad.
It's so what's gonna happen. Oh my god.
Because she is so much closer to death than Gabriel is.
Oh my god.
They originally said Gabriel die first, then her, but it could.
Yeah.
Okay, the way he goes in there and starts yelling at her, and I'm like looking at her face. I'm like, can you go away? Leave her alone.
She needs to sleep. Do you?
And then he's like, I'm gonna take my ring. Like, you're such a butt. Like, go away.
Oh, I hate him.
Oh no! So that's such a sad turn of events for April. Yeah. So in conclusion, like, if we don't get the Gabe's side in the finale, then I still love this episode. I still love how it was presented. I still love getting the Felix side. I just am not satisfied with this as the end of the arc 1 of Ladybug backstory. If we do get the Gabe side in the finale, wonderful. Love how it's presented here, and then leave it the rest for the finale. I think that's really cool.
I kind of like how annoying it is how they did it, because they couldn't have just told Marinette Adrian's a Senta monster. Like, they can't do that.
I mean, Felix could have at any time this season.
He could have.
Yeah.
But what's what I like? So first, I mean, this is a big deal. We've sat with the idea that Adrian's a Senta monster for a long time. First we have to accept that there are people Marinette knows who are Senta monsters. And then we can introduce, which Adrian doesn't know, and I think that's another big deal. And I think I'm going to give respect to Felix here, and I think this is the big thing. Felix is not going to tell Marinette when Adrian doesn't even know that he's a Senta monster.
But he kind of already did tell her.
Implied.
But no, he did.
But he clearly held back.
He didn't say the words, Adrian is a scent monster.
Yeah.
Like,
so yeah, maybe Felix wants Adrian to know first. I agree. I think it makes sense why he doesn't tell Marinette. Let's just see how it plays out.
But it doesn't seem like he has any plans to tell Adrian.
It did seem like this is the end of their plans. Like, let's tell Marinette and she can handle it.
Recruit Ladybug. And
I do think part of it is, I think Felix wants Adrian to stand up to his father and wants, like, him to make Gabriel tell him.
Oh.
That could be the plan, yeah.
Also, I think ultimately that has to happen for Adrian's, like, growth as a character. So, and we kind of get this. So, like, this is so funny, by the way. So when they fight off transformation, and then Hawkmoth's like, Nuru, what? This is a special power only adults get. Why are they doing this? Because he's a baby. And he's like, I guess they grew up, which is, like, the best line ever. Nuru is...
Loved it.
So, like, you know, so Cat Noir and Ladybug grew up. Well, now Marinette and Adrian have to grow up. And so
I like that.
This is going to be the big thing. Adrian's going to have to stand up. And this is going to be a thing, too, for Marinette has to stand up to Gabriel. Like, again, which sucks. But Adrian's going to have to stand up to Gabriel. And then, you know, and kind of like he's going to have to wrestle that control. And also, my thing is, like, don't know what his plan is. He's dead. Like, he is dying.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
The wish is like his last ditch effort because once he's dead, Adrian's in control.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, his plan has always been the wish to bring Emily back, and then he says that again in these episodes. I think that's still the plan. Does that involve him living? I don't know. I don't know if he even cares, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Well, but he always says things like, we'll be reunited. Like, even recently,
That's true. He said we'll be
together again.
Yeah. Are we going to be together because we're both alive or because I'm dying? Who knows?
Yeah, I was going to say, because now that could mean both ways, because we'll be together again soon could mean he plans on meeting her in the afterlife.
I don't know.
We're
both in the dead wife garden.
Yeah.
He's gonna guys,
twin dead wife garden coffins.
Guys, I'm writing fan fiction. He's gonna die and just be slumped over her casket.
My god, that'd be so dramatic.
Oh, I love it.
By the way, I still definitely think he will die in terms of his body, and he will be a some sort of AI or something like the hologram.
We do have Hollow Dad.
I really think it's all been building to Hollow Dad. It really checks out. Like it's what we've been working to this entire.
Oh my gosh. Gabriel dies, and then Adrian finally gets an alliance ring, and it's his father.
No, terrible. Boo.
But this is actually me. This isn't just an AI. I'm in your alliance ring now.
Yeah,
no, it's literally me. Yeah,
and Gabriel's like, this is my worst nightmare.
He uploaded.
It wasn't whatever was in this episode. It's this new reality.
I love it.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Stop it. You said once.
It's a text from Luca. I didn't know he was going to text. I didn't know he was going to text. I just got a text from Luca.
Said once.
I can't predict when my best friend Luca texts me.
April, can you mark the time for me about when Dylan was like, I'm only going to mention Luca once?
I wrote it down.
It's almost like I was lying. Okay, so let's...
Whoa, I'm so shocked. Wow.
Foreshadowing. It's called... Okay, let's read this text from Luca. How about
Foreshadowing. I hate you.
Foreshadowing.
Dear, my best friend Dylan.
This is so terrible. Wow.
Hello. Guess where I am. Delaney, guess. He says in the text.
He's in England.
In England? Oh, that would have been a good idea. Actually, I'm in Antarctica.
No,
That's
he's
not where
not.
I thought he was going to be.
We're in Antarctica seeing all the sights.
What sites are there in Antarctica?
We're seeing the world. That includes Antarctica.
There are penguins in Antarctica.
Unfortunately, Jagged immediately got frozen when we stepped off the boat. Penny and I are currently trying to pick him out of his frozen ice cube now. Fang ate a penguin.
I believe it.
This is an important PSA to all of you listening. There are no penguins in Antarctica. They live in the Arctic.
And Lucas says, parentheses, actually, there was one penguin here. Wouldn't you know?
I'm going to hang up.
But the real reason I'm texting you, Dylan, and hello, my other best friends, Delaney and April, is because I was watching the latest episode, and somehow. And I was thinking,
Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Now I'm completely like, my suspension of disbelief is gone. Like,
I was, I don't really get angry, but I was a little dismayed that why does Kagami and Felix get to know Marinette's identity, but I had to be written out of Paris for knowing. That's kind of just what I was wondering. I really feel like it should have been me.
You know what? He deserves. He can be mad. I accept this.
It should have been me. Not only gets to stay and know Marinette's Ladybug, but also I should have been the one to tell Marinette about this backstory for the Agreste family.
How did he know?
You didn't know this, Luca. No, boo.
I think it should have gone like this. So,
you wrote a song, didn't
here's
you?
my rock opera that explains the backstory to Marinette. That's how I think this should have gone.
I'm done.
How did you have the energy to do all of this, Dylan? Honestly.
So Lucas sent, it's a miracle. Lucas sent a audio file, so I'm going to play that right now, okay? Here's,
okay.
So this is Luca's rock opera for how it should have gone for him telling Marinette, okay. In the heart of Paris, a tale unfolds. A story of secrets, dudes, of destinies untold. A shadowed mansion, a father and son. Their hidden past, a battle begun. Massive elegance, grace, and prestige. But behind closed doors, a truth besieged. A lineage of heroes, a curse they share. A legacy of pain, a cross to bear. Oh, Ladybug, let me take you back in time to unravel the mystery, to uncover the rhyme. A boy named Adrian, so lost and alone, a scent a monster's heart, a soul overthrown. Okay, we'll stop it there. That was
There's more.
Listen. Wait till the end of the podcast. If you want to hear Luca's full rock opera. I had to cut it off there. Okay, so that's the text from Luca. That was what should have happened this episode. Luca's rock opera instead of Felix and Kagami's avant-garde play explaining this backstory. What'd you guys think?
I mean, I won't lie. Like, it was pretty dope.
Oh,
yeah,
that's better than I expected.
I mean, I hate your guts, but like, this is pretty dope.
So that and of course that was written by ChatGPT. So there's the rock opera.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask.
I thought Sarah wrote it.
If you listen to the full thing, it doesn't really make sense. But the chat it knew some of the keywords involved with this situation. I know.
Did you, like, feed ChatGPT like all of the information about Ladybug? Like, did you just like write the whole plot of the show?
No, I didn't have to spell it out. It knows.
Good.
It knows. I don't think it would have known this episode if I told it to give this version of this episode. Yeah. So seriously though, I'm peeved as Luca stan that Luca has to be. Thomas is like, Dylan, you know it had to happen. Luca had to be written off because he knows, and two other people know in this episode. What are you talking about? Luca has to be written off
because Luca has known for way too long.
Unless we get definitely the identity reveals in the finale.
To be fair, the main issue is that Hawkmoth knew that Luca knew.
So what? Hawkmoth's gonna
wait.
Next time Kagami gets akumatized, this is an issue.
Here's my question: she's been akumatized since that happened.
Yeah. So let's talk about that next. This is our next topic. Is Kagami has known since the episode Perfection, I believe, which is the I Love Moo episode.
I love Moo.
We love it. So, and she does get it.
I feel really validated because, like, I remember watching that episode and being like, Kagami totally hurt you.
Yeah, no, I probably shut it down. So I think I was probably wrong about that.
Okay, but to be fair, the show, like, I mean, the dumbest stuff happens in the show.
It's
like,
kind of shocking.
It's also annoying that they were like, no, she totally heard, which is like super irritating, but like completely fair.
So she gets akumatized that episode after hearing
right?
this.
Yep.
So, and that's extra irritating that Luca, that logic has to go. It's completely arbitrary.
Maybe.
Justin, you hate Luca, writers and Thomas.
They hate you specifically,
and
Dylan,
me.
Maybe it took her until now.
So
to figure
they
it
say
out.
they try to explain it. She says, "I couldn't believe it at first either."
Okay.
So that's them trying to cover
That's
their
fair.
tracks. And
Also, in her defense, she was processing a lot during that episode.
she was processing.
That's
a lot.
also true.
But she says it's the only possible explanation. And they say only Ladybug can help them love each other freely. So what do we think of Kagami knowing? I buy that she heard this and over time kind of like came to play. It makes sense to me to some
It does
extent.
make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it does. Also, especially just like who Kagami is as a person.
And it makes sense that Kagami's smart and she would understand after hearing her
Is she
Alia and
the
Marinette
only
talk.
character? Yes. Her and Alia, it's just them.
And Luca.
Yeah.
Well, Luca didn't figure it out. He like watched it happen.
It was spelled out for him more. That's true.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't spelled out for him. He watched and he was like, "Oh."
he watched the reveals, several times. Yeah.
He was like, "Oh God."
Still smart though. But what do we think of this concept of Kagami knows tells Felix? This was, and also, were you surprised?
I was just like, I mean, I don't know if I was surprised. I think it was satisfying in the way that like they're so stupid, like the way Marinette has been, and like like them just like the way they like transform in the middle of like wherever. Like it was satisfying in that like they're
Satisfying
so
that more
stupid.
people should know. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like all of Paris should know because it's stupid. And then I guess part of me is shocked she told Felix, but it makes sense. I will say that's kind of scary that Felix knows, but also we know he's just a baby, so it's fine. Like he's just a sweet angel.
Baby in a good way. Unlike
Yes.
Gabriel's a baby in a bad way.
A different kind.
You're right. You're right.
Unlike the creepy baby dolls in the
Ugh.
backstory.
I still am not over. He went worse than akumatizing a baby. He akumatized an unborn baby.
Besides the pregnant lady. I think that's not as bad as the actual baby.
You say that.
Also, he has akumatized
akumatized the same baby many times.
like multiple.
Yes.
And he's akumatized an AI twice. Okay. So Kagami tells Felix, and they think only Ladybug can help him. And also they're in love now, as stated, very soon after.
So love it. Works for me.
Mhm.
We got the previous episode where we were all shipping it.
They're
and-
they're just like having dates in the background. Works for me. I'm not bothered.
So this episode, Felix as Argos comes to the hotel in England, I guess, and draws a heart to Kagami.
It's really cute that she just like jumps in his arms. Like they're cute.
And they get carried
Yeah.
away. They kiss on the Eiffel Tower after talking about how they know Marinette's Ladybug.
They're adorable.
And then they kiss again
So adorable.
at the end, once Felix returns Kagami to London, like with the gorgeous sunset. Absolutely
I'm still a little terrified they're gonna kill Felix and Kagami.
No. I mean, Felix, Senna monster, could die at any time.
Well, so could Kagami.
Oh, also Kagami.
Yeah.
Like your logic is terrible.
Oh, also her. See,
Bad
I'm Marinette. I didn't take that away from the presentation. I had no idea.
I will say thank you, April, because I was not like it did not click to me that they told her who Monarch
No,
was.
it
like
was a great call.
like
April, what
I
did
saw it.
also
you
he akumatized himself again. He's so annoying.
He is so annoying.
What do you think? What do you think of Felix and Kagami this episode, April?
I loved them.
They're so cute.
They
go
are.
on dates with Marinette and Adrian. So cute.
The thing that I love about Kagame and Felix is that, because let's be real, Felix and Adrian are essentially the same person at this point. And
But Felix is a butthead.
Felix is a butthead at times, but now he's been redeemed slightly. But I feel like because he is smart and Kagame is smart, then
They deserve each other.
yeah, like they like mesh very well. So
Being intelligent is in short supply on the show.
you're not wrong. And I love them. I don't know. Just kind
Also,
of like,
it's just something so satisfying about the two socially awkward people getting together. It's nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could be like...
They just make sense.
They like
Yes.
maybe they're both like autistic or autistic coded, right? And like
Yes.
a great couple like
Mhm.
that.
I don't know so much if Felix is like.
Kagami definitely, right? We haven't seen that as much
Kagami,
from Felix.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Felix
Yes.
at the very least socially awkward. I don't know if we've seen enough of him.
The
to
more
really...
with Felix is kind of like we've had the same problem with Adrian. It's just that they're extremely sheltered,
Yeah, I
which
agree.
is different.
Yeah, different.
Yeah.
Could overlap or could be just it right. So we don't know. They're so cute this episode, Kagami and Felix. I love it. The only thing is what happened to the throuple.
We can still have it.
We can well, I don't want to say that it's like it can kind of be a quadruple, not really, but like
what? What if it's Felix X Marinette X Adrian X Kagami?
But
Perfect.
not
including twincest with the two sun
no,
monsters.
they're cousins.
Oh gosh,
They're not real.
They're still okay, but they're like
they don't count as cousins.
They're magic cousins.
Magic bros.
They're magic cousins.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. It makes the throuple awkward.
Here's the problem, though. You're actually right, though, because technically they are. If they were real, because they're not, because they're cinder monsters, they would be genetically brothers.
Yeah,
because their moms are twins.
Oh, is that? I don't know. Is that how that works? Yeah,
I think that's how that works. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So rip the throuple.
Or or maybe it's like they're like genetically half brothers. It's weird. Anyway, twins are weird.
Rip the throuple. But if Marinette and Adrian are gonna be annoying and be monogamous, then Kagami deserves Felix. So
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That's the answer.
They can go on little dates. It's cute.
They can go on double dates and
yes.
Aww.
And then Rose and Julika and Mark and Nathaniel. And
oh my god, I forgot we like quote unquote walked in on them at like
that's right.
Mark and Nathaniel about to kiss, probably holding hands.
Yes. And they're like, "Are you
so
crying?"
cute.
And Meredith's like, "No, I'm not crying."
And
never.
Rose and Julika, a big moment of Julika trying to protect Rose. Yeah, so
cute.
Always.
Also, I completely missed the part where they like gave her a stump. Like that, I completely missed that part. And then she like had it, and I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah. I don't even remember. I don't remember about it.
It was nonsense.
A lot happening. Any other Felix and Kagami thoughts?
Oh, they're just cute. I love them.
Does the fact that they know mean that the identity reveal is coming?
Surely.
Yeah.
That's two more people that know. Are we going to write them off the show next?
No. Because they're so involved in this, like Sentimonster stuff.
I think
Sentimonsters.
I think we have the Kagami Felix plotline as like a parallel for Adrian and Marinette, and they're presented as parallel in the episode. Like this whole like couple issue, they're not. I think it's more parallel than foil, but they're gonna yeah. So Marinette doing this for them is really it's kind of gonna be like the catalyst for finding out Adrian's a scent monster and the identity reveal. Okay. Also, like, Adrian was literally going to reveal to Marinette.
He was about to, yes.
Yeah.
He was about to, and then...
Ooh, I got so hyped for that. I was on the...
I was mad when he was like, oh no, the nightmare. Like, get over it, you baby.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing that is problematic, because she never did a Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah, at the end she does, yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, she leaves Rose and Julika with their nightmares overnight.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Also, okay, just a question.
I mean, she didn't know. She didn't know.
No, wait, did she do a Miraculous? She didn't do a Lucky Charm.
Yeah, well, you're right. She just got rid of
she just got rid of the Akuma. So
she de-evilizes, but she didn't Miraculous Ladybug.
She didn't Lucky Charm and nothing.
She didn't Lucky Charm, so she can't Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah,
she did de-evilize, but she didn't Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah, she didn't Miraculous Ladybug and throw the Lucky Charm in the air.
Someone clip these 30 seconds and send it to someone who doesn't know about Miraculous Ladybug. The mechanics of the show are the stupidest thing. I guess de-evilizing the Akuma, I guess, gets rid of the effects of the villain, but the Miraculous Ladybug turns like the destruction back. So I guess that didn't matter though.
Yeah, it's like when they weren't there, remember?
Yeah. I didn't know that distinction quite as much. They had to rebuild Paris the one time.
So Adrian's still gonna be having some nightmares.
No, I mean in theory, if de-evilizing the Akuma gets rid of the villain's powers, but yeah, I don't know.
Which she hadn't done yet, so that's fair.
She did de-evilize, but she didn't. I think right?
She did de-evilize, but she had so when Adrian happened to Adrian,
and so she had the thing, and then she goes back to the trapped Akuma and then de-evilizes it after Adrian.
Yes, but we've had multiple episodes before where she hadn't yet thrown the the Lucky Charm and the effects from, like, she de-evilized the Akuma.
I think the issue is that the de-evilize is always immediately followed by the Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah.
So we don't really, I don't know if we know the difference.
Well, it happens before the Miraculous Ladybug.
No, this is a good question, because we kind of hinted at this before when she Miraculous Ladybug too soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This is the type of thing where people will be like, actually, in this episode, and I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't remember. Okay. So I don't have the answers to this.
No, I think you're right, though, but she didn't Miraculous Ladybug, so I don't know.
The Ladybug Wikia knows this type of thing,
nightmares.
but we can't look at it because spoilers.
Right.
So I don't. So if April, if what I'm saying is true, that then there won't be nightmares because the de-evilizing would take away the villain effects, just not the damage to the city. But I don't know if that's true. It could be. I have no idea.
Because the Miraculous Ladybug doesn't just... Ooh, this is a good question, actually. Okay, so I'm just going to go with, like, normally when there's, like, a villain and, like, people disappear. Like, for example, when they all got turned into balloons, which made no sense, by the way.
Loved it.
So now I'm thinking, so maybe they can tell us in the comments. So when they do... So they're balloons. So then, when you de-evilize, the villain goes back to normal.
The villain goes back to normal.
And sometimes in when the villain then loses their powers, the effects of the villain loses their powers.
Yeah, so
that's like a common trope.
So here's the thing. So if the villain is fine, like once the villain's back to normal, do the balloon people go back to being people, or is it after the Miraculous Ladybug? That will answer our question.
Okay, I have no idea.
I think it's after the Miraculous Ladybug.
I have no idea. This is the type of thing. This is just going to frustrate people listening. But,
yep.
So I'm sorry, but we'll figure it out. Okay. Let's talk about Chloe. Are you ready?
Yes.
So Chloe becomes the mayor of Paris.
Makes no sense. I love it. What is this? Is this like the Sixth Republic? Hilarious.
Outlaws superheroes, and then in the next episode, Gabe and
immediately
Tomoe
get superpowers.
They secretly plan to akumatize her, and she detentions everyone into the stadium. And yeah, what I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of this arc, but Delaney, what did you think of the whole Chloe as mayor?
This is absurd. Like, it's so ridiculous. I enjoy it in that, like, it's so stupid. I also enjoy the commentary of, an adult should step in. Nope, that's not what happens. Nope. And I'm like, is this a commentary on Trump being elected? I hope so. Also, like, Chloe, like, I'm sorry, the thing that makes the episode so good is that Chloe can't say democracy. I think that's really what sells her being mayor.
It's good. And one of the interviewees comments on it, right? And
yes, it's so funny.
Ladybug's like, and it's pronounced democracy.
It's so fun. Also, the fact that Lila keeps trying, it's so funny. Like, and she and every time she says it wrong a different way. It's so good. Also, like, okay, so obviously it's terrible that Chloe is like honestly, Chloe could have done more damage. Like, I'm a little proud of her. I also enjoyed the plot line where like they seeded it. Granted, it got paid off like immediately, but they're like, why isn't Alia answering her phone? And it's because she's just going around and like sending people to jail, like, for no reason. Also, that's apparently a power. What use is this? Like,
what power?
The power of detention. That's actually a quantum power.
No, it's not a power. No. It's just what she called it, I think, right?
No, specifically, what? He gives her the power of detention.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't listen to when he says those things, I tune out. So I take you to give the power. I'm stop listening.
To be fair, he gave her like 5, so I don't blame you.
So he gave her the detention power, and also she called it detention as like kind of a hokey thing.
But then, which one is the detention one?
That's what I don't know. I don't know.
You say it very confidently. This could be completely wrong, Delaney. But
I'm not wrong. He does say, "I'm giving you the power of detention," so it is a Kwame power. It's not just like some stupid.
The problem with staying unspoiled is I can't fact check this. There's no way unspoiled to fact check this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But look, I believe you. And if there's any inaccuracies. Then
we'll figure it out. But like, to me, it's just a wild, like, why is this the Kwame power? Like,
my thing was the robot pollens them, so they like get
and
frozen.
They're invulnerable and invisible.
But then they get unpollened immediately. I guess because she pollens someone else, the last person gets unfrozen. But that was weird to me.
Yes, that's they can only
because that's a thing. Because I remember that from previous episodes.
So when
that you could only-
Marinette gets pollen, I'm like, oh wow, it's game over. No, she's unfrozen immediately. It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as she pollens someone else.
Yes.
April, what did you
Also,
think?
the point is just to send them to detention, which is kind of silly.
Which is funny, yeah.
Yes.
What did you think of April, Chloe as mayor?
I thought it was ridiculous, utterly ridiculous.
Yes.
But like, it's just so goofy because why would they just allow some teenager?
They're just
to
letting this
be
middle
mayor?
schooler be mayor.
Yeah, they're literally like, well, I guess this is happening. Like, no, that's not how this works.
Look,
I'm like, is there no one else in Paris? Like, is there literally
Right?
can't do anything? Like,
here's my thing, complaint.
Okay.
In a show filled with space dumpsters, the whatever tower they made in the space dumpster sequel, heroes, AI,
literal magic.
Literal magic.
This is the first thing I think that's ever truly broken the
Yes,
logic
same.
of Ladybug.
Yes.
I also agree. This is how I felt.
Somehow this is genuinely the most stupid thing that's ever happened in Ladybug, but not like in like a fun way. I mean, if you think it's fun, that's great. But like, I think I think they actually broke the logic of their own show here. Unfortunately,
And there was just nothing fun about it. Like, I was not having a good time.
I mean, I think it's like fun. Like Delaney, I thought that the second Revolution, it felt like a very mini like Master episode of Doctor Who when like the Master takes over the world and they're all have to like try to rebel against it.
Yes.
But it was like in like 5 minutes that they went through the whole thing. So I think that's kind of fun, and it's large in scale. It's like Ladybug's a show where the mayor is the only politician they have, so therefore the mayor has the political authority to launch space dumpsters, which it does break the logic of our world, but I think is consistent with the Ladybug world because the mayor is the only politician we know of.
Yes.
Yes.
But so in theory, like Chloe becomes mayor, like that's something that's literally impossible in our world. I guess.
Also, I don't think mayors can fire teachers. I don't think that's true.
Right.
No, they can't.
No, but in the Ladybug world, the mayor has always called up Principal Damocles. So again, it's something that in the Ladybug logic, I think.
Yeah, I
checks
do
out.
think
Yeah.
Chloe being mayor is like it's it.
Chloe
This
being
is-
mayor, it's like, I guess in theory they didn't state that, okay, in the Ladybug world something, but like what would be different that would make this plausible that like a 14-year-old girl could actually be a temporary mayor? Like it's just so unfathomable in our world, and the show didn't do anything to convince you that it's something that could plausibly happen in their world. It didn't build up to it. It did like it.
No.
It makes me think of like
she just comes in and sits down and she's like, I'm mayor. And everyone's like, what?
it makes me think of how in the show like Parks and Recreation, how the one character became mayor at like 18. And I'm like, who does
Benny.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's not a real thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all are-
I think that's based on like some things you hear about like very small towns, and it's like, okay, if Chloe like ran for mayor and like was 18, and but like she's
Yeah.
a minor
and, it was
and
like
just
a small
took
town.
and like wasn't elected, and it's Paris,
Like in real, in real life, there are cats who are mayors, and that's fine.
but
I'm
this
okay
is
with
like Paris, and it's
Yeah, and this is
Yeah.
Paris,
And there's
and
no
like it doesn't make
election.
any sense. And even and the thing is, like, they also continue to break their logic because they keep interviewing people, and people are like a teenager, and it's like, why don't you go in there and do something
Right,
about
so
this?
yeah,
Like,
you're allowing this to happen.
I think the biggest thing that like precipitates this and makes it somewhat acceptable is just the fact that Ladybug is such a ridiculous show. Like I think that's the main thing that like makes
I
this
mean,
possible.
part of it, to be fair, so like, okay, if we're gonna look at this, like, let's look at this with Ladybug logic. So the mayor resigns,
Yep.
and he just leaves. And then immediately Chloe comes in with a camera crew. And so then she just kind of like, so okay, if we
and
look
with
at it
with the
more
police robots too.
with the
Yeah.
police robots. And so if we just go with like Chloe is just occupying City Hall, and she has the power with like Tomoe and Gabriel, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, she has obviously forced everyone into this, so that kind of makes sense. I guess.
Here's my potential analysis. If this is what they're going for, that this episode is a January 6th commentary. And
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
ooh, I like it. Continue.
what the
Yeah, I'm here for this. Hold on.
this is the point isn't that Chloe could plausibly be a temporary mayor. This is like takeover,
Chloe
a hostile
literally takes
takeover with
over,
the police robots.
Yes,
and
This
so
is true.
and the whole theme of the revolution is
Makes sense.
people have to actually take action, which I actually really liked that theme throughout that episode. of like, we actually have to do something ourselves. We can't wait on people. And it's like in the case of like a Trump who succeeded in like a January 6th, you know, people would have to take action. So maybe that's what they had in mind when they wrote this episode. I don't know if the timeline works. Maybe. But it
is real. I will say it's a real shame that this didn't actually air on Bastille Day. That would have been great.
Yeah, they also there's also like French Revolution commentary in the previous episode, so that's a factor too. But I think it probably works best when you view it as like a hostile takeover that is like treated, that people are just not panicking about, because the commentary is like, okay, these terrible things, these fascists are taking over in our world, not just in the US previously, but in many countries in Europe. They're like very far right regimes, and it's just like seen as a legitimate thing, despite like election manipulation and stuff. So also with the commentary, and also with Ladybug, like, oh, how much damage she could do. She's a 14-year-old girl. Well, a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Now that we talk about it, I think maybe that's probably what they're going for, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it better now, but I still so stupid.
It's still ridiculous when you watch it. Like, you're like, what?
Yes.
How about as like a finale to Chloe? That's like kind of what I've come to terms with.
It's pretty funny when you think about it. Like, it's hilarious.
Yes.
Also, the Chloe statue is so funny.
It's also like super sad. Like,
it is kind of sad.
The way that we ended with Chloe, because she literally is getting like her mom is dragging her through the mud at the end of the episode.
Also, her mom's the worst. I would not want to be stuck with her mom.
Same. But like her mom's just like giving it to her, and then she like
and then Marinette,
Chloe's the ultimate bully. Like, Chloe's the ultimate bully. She's every single like bully that I had in high school, because she's literally like feeling so bad. She's like, I'm going to go ruin someone else's life to make myself feel better. Like, wow, you are the absolute worst, Chloe. I hate you so much.
Marinette serves her. It's so good.
Oh, it's so good. And like, I'm so bad for her.
I did feel sad when she looked at Sabrina's name.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Chloe is just like this huge figure in Marinette's life, and we got the trauma episode this season, and it's like she's been dethroned in the previous group of episodes and lost Sabrina, and now this is kind of her last gasp, and the show goes big with her because she's been this big presence for the show and for Marinette, and they finally have to defeat her one more time in a big dramatic way. And I could see that, like, Chloe just being gone from the show now. Like, I think Lila, we'll see what happens. Lila will be in the finale. I think very possible we're setting Lila up for a major villain presence next season. I think Chloe, no way. I feel like we're...
Yeah, Chloe's gone. I also think it's hilarious that everyone's getting sent to London.
That is really funny. Also, it's not that far, guys.
That's a big punishment is for French people, like, getting sent to London.
Like,
to be fair,
like,
I mean,
Felix,
they do hate each other. So like,
Felix already lives there. Kagami's getting punished by being sent to London. Adrian's getting sent to London.
Next
Chloe's
happens in London. Ladybug moves.
Oh, I'm here for it.
Eventually, we'll get a London special. I believe that is on the docket. You would think it would be next, but no. And by the way, there's more to sending them to London, which we'll talk about in terms of their plan. It seems like to get them out of Paris. Chloe reminisce. If this is the end of Chloe, which it might not be, could be wrong, but this, Chloe's a character who we loved seasons 1 to 3, was fun, and then had this potential redemption arc, and then they subverted it in the season 3 finale, and then they kind of wrote her off for a while and didn't do that much with her, and they brought her back to the forefront here. Was it in a satisfying enough way to kind of end this character's arc? I think
no.
You don't think so?
Actually, I just had an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're planning something big. Everyone's getting moved out of London. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a throwaway line from her mom that's like, oh yeah, they were going to do this, so I just like wanted you out of the way. And then like, whatever horrible thing they're going to do, maybe that kind of like flips a switch in Chloe.
Oh, and she's good now?
Yeah, like maybe she's like worried about Sabrina, or she's scared because like whatever they're gonna do is not.
So we asked for the last time. We ask, is this Chloe Demption? I mean, I hesitate to say redemption. Will she be maybe more subdued and apologize to Sabrina and be more of like a less selfish person now?
I don't know.
It didn't seem like the
This
show
is
was
what-
interested in
this
that
is-
the past 2 seasons.
That
Yeah.
is true. I will say this is Chloe's rock bottom.
Yeah.
I think also because of the way that they've presented Chloe in these last few episodes, that I don't know, I feel like even if she does get redeemed, it's not going to be satisfying. Like maybe she could be redeemed in like season 6, but I think that if they did it like right now, I would not be happy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could see like it could also just be like, with Lila throwing her away.
Yeah, I think it's like a thing where she's like humbled and just maybe not as brazenly terrible now. Not necessarily redeemed. If she's in
Yeah.
the show at all.
I don't know. I'm kind of over her.
That's fair.
Sad, yeah. But I like overall, I'm happy they did something with Chloe in the last season, and it was like a big spectacle, fun piece. I think that's good. The only thing that it wasn't my favorite thing this season, like personally, I think the grouping of episodes from the start of the Lila Chloe class election to Revolution up until the last 5 minutes, I think that's like probably the weakest run of the season. But I'm okay with a big Chloe thing in the presence of the last season. The only frustrating thing is just that it's like right at the end. It's like this wasn't the most important thing to us, and then we had to rush to the Adrinette kiss, and now we're kind of off onto the actual things we wanted to see from the finale.
The other thing I don't like about it is that, like the way that they've brought Chloe back essentially to be a pawn in Lila's scheme, like that doesn't feel, and it's bothered me like this entire time that I don't like seeing Chloe be a pawn because she's never been a pawn and she's always been the queen. And that's how she's always been presented to us, and that's how she's always acted. And for her to just be so complacent in Lila's scheme just is not on track with her character. Like, why would Chloe agree to not be in charge? You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a legit point. Maybe that's why this is a humbling for Chloe. She's no longer the main mean girl, you know? She's had to step back to support Lila, and she got stepped down a peg even in that role. So maybe that's what they're going for. But I agree, it's like a weird look for her. Maybe more befitting of her reduced role in seasons 4 and 5, which we didn't find satisfying to begin with.
Yeah.
Any last Chloe thoughts?
Rip Chloe.
R.I.P. Chloe. Have fun in England.
Have fun in
Yep.
England. We'll go over some more specifics in episodes. There's a lot. I just want to point out this one weird thing in Revolution. So first of all, we get okay, well, I'll go through this whole thing because it's funny. So the Resistance and Miss Bustia and Damocles are protesting Chloe at the school to like reinstate them. Chloe calls them all libertarians. Did we catch
So
that?
funny.
Yes, I did.
Never heard the show use a political
So
term.
funny.
I loved it.
I love that's so, that was I was it libertarians in French? That's so funny.
Also, that like she gets that political term correct,
but not democracy. Yeah, well, that's because
But
she's
not
evil, right? So
democracy.
she can't say democracy, right? We get a shot of Miss Mendeleev teaching only Chloe in the class about the bourgeois family history,
So funny.
So hilarious.
and then cut to we were like, oh, where did Ivan and Mylene go? Cut to this literal 6-second segment. There's a giant gold Chloe statue.
Mhm.
And there's a shot of Ladybug and Cat are like, that's weird. Bang, done. Cut to something else.
So great.
This is the Hollow Dad. Like, this is the show didn't edited this in it got out of hands and they wanted to keep this, but they only made it 6 seconds. This is such a Ladybug staple. Giant gold Chloe statue that they didn't follow up with at all. I timed it. Like, literally, it's a 6-second scene. It's so fun.
I love it. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's other good stuff, too. I think that's the main thing. Last major thing. Let's talk about Ladybug and Cat have all grown up now. And,
Yes.
so
I was like, this is the end.
Yeah, I was very nervous whenever they were
They do
detransforming.
detransforming in their bubbles, yeah. And then they can slow it down, and then they figure out that they're grown up and they don't have to detransform anymore.
And Hawkmoth is so mad.
I'd be mad
think
too. This is a cop-out. He had them. He deserved it.
Yeah, you know what? He kind of did, and
He was so mad. No, it's great. Works for me.
I'm mad for him.
Thank you. We're back on board. April's back on
No,
board.
I just love. He's like, no, bro, and Nuru's like, IDK, bro.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I like. Well, and I love that it's like the corniest explanation ever. Like,
Yes,
maybe they grew up.
Well, this is a
like-
very
good.
corny mechanic
So
that the
good.
show has, so I think it's appropriate.
I love it.
Why
It
are
was
they
so-
And
Why are
then-
they grown up at 14?
Why not?
Did they had
I
they had their bar and
it's
bat
puberty.
mitzvah? That's what happened. So now they're adults.
It's
Like,
puberty.
I don't know how to tell you this, but sometimes people have to grow up very quickly when there's traumatic events taking place in their
I mean,
life.
that's definitely what Marinette and Adrian's past 6 months have been since the show started.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess it checks out.
But I just
He was so mad. So good.
my favorite part is then afterwards, like whenever they're like, "We're not going to detransform," and then
Cataclysm.
Hanawar is like,
Cataclysm.
he's like cataclysm, and I'm like, this is hilarious. I'm here for this.
Yeah, now he can cataclysm as much as he wants.
So sweet. You cataclysm all you want.
We're gonna
Dear
have
boy.
45 Lucky Charms.
45 anime swords.
Oh God,
What?
Yes.
Everyone.
this is a good point. Is she just gonna Lucky
Anime
Charm a
sword.
million times?
Anime.
I
sword.
hope so.
Well, at least
Wait.
this would help when they like cut it. She's like, haha, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, yeah, and also
But, okay, but we
they also have enough trouble with the animation tracking the Lucky Charm with one Lucky Charm. Imagine she has to throw out 3 things.
45 Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
45 Lucky Charm. We haven't seen her use a Lucky Charm in a while.
True, you're right.
I mean,
She Lucky Charms for like a crown, and it's like, oh, this was actually for Chloe.
Yeah, but she didn't like actually.
she didn't like use it. Yeah, I know. We need a good one in the finale.
I agree.
Man, I hope it's like a pencil or like a Q-tip or something.
No. I really my favorite's when it's like some absurdly heavy object.
It should, yeah,
That's
and
my
she
favorite.
struggles
So,
to
It's a
carry
boat.
it. It's good.
so
It's good.
funny. Like it's so funny.
So that-
every time.
What do we think of them growing up? I mean, I guess this is we thinking of this as like the end of like arc 1 of Ladybug seasons 1 to 5. So they grow up after this. We saw the future in that time, I think Time Tagger or whatever episode
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
we see the adult one. We don't know about they don't have to transform. I didn't see it coming, but like feels like a big like end step for.
It felt. I think it felt earned.
Yeah. And I like that that's not something we're going to have to deal with. Like, it
Yes.
takes away something with.
It was
That's-
so like. What's the word?
I know, I'm having a hard
The
time.
show
putting
struggled
all
to
into
juggle the detransforming many.
Yeah,
It was
times.
also just so like. I guess I'm gonna say cliche. I'm not sure if that's the word I want to use, but like. Or trite.
Well, I
Like
think,
that was the issue that they were like, oh, I'm just gonna get them to detransform. Ha ha ha. Nope,
Yeah,
can't do
it
that
happened
again.
a
He's
lot,
also
yeah.
tried that like 30,000
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
I think it also leads way to identity reveals because that has been like the biggest thing where it's like we can't reveal our identities. Oh no, we're going to detransform and then our identities will be revealed, but we're kind of in this place where it doesn't matter anymore. So, what does it like yes, it's a big deal like if they were to detransform in that moment, but once we get some type of bigger identity reveal, then it's not going to matter anymore. So they're like, let's just take care of this problem now before we like, I guess, have to deal with it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it relates to identity reveals. We'll see if that's. It feels like a good transition thing for the show. It's still like reason for them not to tell each other if they get akumatized, but if there's no person akumatizing anymore, then
Yeah.
in that case, so we'll see about that. Or will it be someone else, or will it be a different villain power? That's a big question. But yeah, I mean, it's I think it's a fun thing. It's like, oh, we've come so far.
Yeah, they've earned it for sure.
Good job, guys. I mean,
They're
you're
a
still
big
very
kid
much
now.
children, but yeah, I guess you're a bigger kid. That's that's the thing.
No, they're grown up now. That's what they said.
Oh boy, I guess they can run for mayor now.
Yeah,
Perfect.
That's what I learned from this
Yeah,
episode.
if I learned anything from Miraculous Ladybug, it's that children can be mayor of Paris.
Yep. That's what I got.
Okay.
My biggest takeaway.
Speaking of, we talked about Miss Bustier. Big set of episodes.
Oh my god, we have a gay T-shirt, and she's gonna be gay mayor. It's amazing.
love it.
Miss Bustier is running for mayor, and she's pregnant and gay. What do we?
She
think?
decided that that was a quick turnaround time for her. They literally that very
They were like,
day
"You'd
were
be
just
great."
like. Literally the same day they were like, "You should be mayor," and she's
This
like,
is all the same. This is literally the same night.
Yeah, it's
I love
all
it.
within the last 24 hours.
I'm not bothered. Also, she's gonna let these children run her campaign. I'm sold.
We love it.
Yep.
But I love representation. It starts at night and ends with the sunrise. By the way, I love the framing of time in
Good
that episode.
stuff.
So I was mad about that because every time that they were like, if they were in Paris and it was night, then it was day in London. And I was
It was so annoying.
That is not how
Look, they're in different
works.
time zones. Okay, they're very far apart.
That's not.
It's only like a couple hours. It's so irritating.
Adrian was watching the BBD news broadcast in London. Miss Musti is running for mayor, like all candidates, against Armand Argencourt. Did you understand this?
I have no idea what's going on.
I think my assumption is this is a French politics joke, but I did not get
Probably.
it.
Maybe.
I was like,
maybe there's just this guy and he always runs.
yeah. Is there one guy that?
Yeah.
Is that what this is a joke?
Is
I don't
it
know.
like their equivalent of the Green Party? Is that the joke?
Right, like I
Oh
assume
my
this is
gosh.
just a joke that went over our heads as Americans, but I like that we have
Like
that
there's
in there.
always some like old rich guy who's running.
I guess
Or
so.
it's just the same guy. He's always runs for mayor and he never wins.
So
Yes.
season 6 starts. Miss Bustier is definitely mayor, right?
Duh.
Of course.
And her baby can be deputy mayor.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I hope she's not pregnant.
The first baby.
Finale predictions. Miss Bustier has the baby. Yes or no?
I don't know. At this
No.
point, I don't know.
We went through so much, and she didn't have the baby.
I'm glad she didn't. I was so stressed for her. Oh my god, no, when Marinette was like, she's pregnant, she can't be under this stress. I was like, the baby's coming.
That was
It's
like,
not-
wow, you're Delaney. You really, it was like you read.
I was so
that was for Delaney. Like we
the
recognize
baby,
that she's
the baby's
pregnant.
coming in the finale. It's
We
happening.
learned that her name is Colleen Bustier, and
Yes.
she has a presumably wife, Giselle, who's on a motorcycle.
What
Ship
was
it.
the other? Because they called her by another last name at one point.
Oh, I don't know. I just wrote down Giselle. We don't say Giselle is a woman. She could be non-binary, of course, or could be go by they them. But I think by not telling us, then she's coded a woman, right? And so I think that's the implication that you take away. And they kiss.
Yep.
A gay kiss on
Full blown
Ladybug.
I love it. They're like, so this is so good. They're gay, but like it's a gay, like interracial. Like
Yeah.
there's like so much happening.
Yes.
It's great.
This is shocking how gay Ladybug has been this season.
It's incredible. We went from like nothing to this. Like, when we were talking about like the really long pause between I Love Julica and then there's this.
Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
that in and
And
of itself
Zoe?
is something. And we had the whole Zoe thing. We're saying she likes
Yeah.
Marinette, explicitly gay. We have explicitly gay. I mean, the teacher or a parent of a friend being gay is kind of like a trope, right? But
I will say the teacher, to me, this feels like a pretty big deal though, just because Miss Bustier is kind of a
she's
major
a big
character.
presence, and we
Yes.
see them kiss. It's not just that like,
So good.
we're gonna hold hand, and it's
Yeah.
and it's like a big thing of the show. And also we follow it up with this Mark and Nathaniel moment, another
So good.
another Rose and Julica moment, of which there have been many, and Zoe's still out there being her little queer self, right?
We need to
Not
get,
that
we need to give Zoe a
Yes.
girlfriend.
yeah, we do.
She needs one.
And
I don't know who she can date, but she needs a girlfriend.
any options?
Also, like Mylene and Ivan are queer. Like they're a queer couple.
One of them or both are definitely non-binary down the line. Like, there's no
Yes.
question. I think legitimately Ladybug season 5 is one of the most queer seasons of television we've covered on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Like, it's
It's
not the
great.
main characters like some other shows, but legit, this is like probably in the top 10 of ones we've talked about. Like, at Ladybug, are you serious?
Well, I think the best part about it too is like it's so just natural. Like
They've done it very
it's
well.
not-
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I really appreciate that they had like Zoe have a crush on Marinette. Like
That's still the biggest thing for sure. That's like,
it's so good.
it involves the main character. Zoe's a major secondary character. Like, Miss Bustier stuff is nice too, but it's like a nice accentuation to Zoe stuff, which is still the main amazing thing I think that the show did.
Yes.
So I guess Zoe can't date Kagami anymore because Kagami's with Felix.
Yeah, sad.
Is anyone available? Why are all these teenagers like together?
I got it. This is gonna Zoe and Sabrina.
Oh yeah, I think we mentioned that too. It is the natural way to go with their class.
That would also make Chloe like ungodly mad.
Chloe's like, and I'm a homophobe. I'm a homophobe. This is unacceptable.
Oh, no.
Chloe's like, a girl, that's fine, but my sister.
Oh yeah. And this is all before Chloe's gay awakening later on down the line.
Yes, exactly. Duh.
Yes,
Duh, obviously,
because
that was
point,
implied.
why not?
Should the title podcast be "A Girl That's Fine, but My Sister"? I don't think that works for this.
No, but it's
that's just
great.
what happened.
Okay. Anything else on Miss Bustier?
This show is going to completely change. You know how many problems were caused just because Chloe's dad was mayor?
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
so many problems.
And the season has done a good job concluding a lot of these minor
Also,
things. And we
I
see
will
Julika speak again this episode.
He has really
Yes.
become one of my favorite characters.
The mayor's really great, yeah.
He's
He's
such
great.
a good guy.
I mean,
Also, I
Also-
really appreciate Zoe stepping up for him. She was like, wait,
Yeah.
he's great. I promise.
I also absolutely hated that, like, Gabriel took
He's a
advantage.
snake. He's a
this,
snake.
by the
No
way,
one
this is another one of those big, like, outside the realm of possibility things. Like, Gabriel takes a video, he edits it in, like, Windows Movie Maker on his Ring.
Yeah.
And everyone just believes it. Like, it just
Right?
airs
Oh.
unquestioned. Like,
He's a
Who
butt.
did he even send it to?
The news,
Television?
I guess.
Did he upload it to YouTube? Like,
Who knows? He emailed all of Paris because that's definitely something.
So
you
Miss
can do.
Oh, yeah,
Bustier
he's
had
got
to show
everyone.
it on the news. I don't think that they were. I think he uploaded it, like, to Twitter or something, and the news wouldn't play it until the villain showed it there. Oh my god, what's Gabriel's social media?
Gaby.
I bet he's like BFFs with Elon Musk on Twitter. He's like, I support all your changes to
absolutely.
Twitter.
Is that not what Tomoe is?
Is Tomoe?
I
I
thought
mean,
it was-
we said Tomoe was the Elon Musk. That's true.
that's true.
Unfortunately, she
I'm
would.
still over her
Would.
being
I
like-
think Tomoe would change it to X. That seems right.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
still not over her being like. I mean, I understand why your son ran away, but what's wrong with my daughter? Like,
That's so.
That's so-
she's really good
That's
with Gabriel. Yeah.
Oh, that feels like so very like
Also,
in
they're,
tune
like-
with like parents these days.
also the end scene, they're like in prison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Okay. Last thing.
Okay.
Operation Perfect Alliance is coming. So let's start in the beginning of
Yeah, I
Collusion.
couldn't remember. I was like, what? I couldn't remember what they were calling it. I just knew it was
Operation
something stupid.
Perfect Alliance, because the alliance rings, presumably.
What a great
And-
show name. No one will figure it out.
Yeah, it's a secret.
Also, it like they use it in reference to their own children, which is so
Yeah.
bothersome.
First, okay, before this, in beginning of Collusion, in the Dead Wife Garden, Gabriel says, Emily, my love, the cycle is coming to an end. In a matter of days, it will all be over. Or rather, it will start over again. I swore to you I would do anything to bring us together. We're almost there. This is the first time I feel like he's referred to it as a cycle that I can remember.
Yes.
Yes.
This is really interesting.
He's like, I'm gonna die and you're gonna come back and you have to get me.
The cycle of someone using the butterfly miraculous for evil?
Well,
The,
but we don't even know like
the cycle because he's going to make a wish and the new world cycle will begin?
I think he's the cycle of them not being together. He's gonna die and then she's gonna be alive.
And then he immediately says, "I swear we'll be together again." But he could
Like
be.
eventually, maybe in another cycle.
but this
It-
but he
I don't
didn't
know.
say
He also
this
just says
cycle
stuff.
is
I don't
coming.
know.
He also
to an
does
end.
just
He
say
said
stuff.
The cycle.
Yeah,
He does just say
the cycle is
stuff.
coming to end. It will all start over again. It is interesting. What is the cycle that he's referring to? Does it involve the wish? I mean, it involves the wish presumably somehow. But
So like, I think we're kind of entering this like greater, like broader, like lore. So this might be something there's no way for
right,
us to guess.
that's
We don't know
Yeah.
that's what it invokes to me is the greater miraculous lore. Yeah, I agree. It's like
It just might be something that hasn't been revealed to us yet.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I think
we know about the
something, like-
cycle of like creation and destruction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I think if
And
if
it
it was
still
something
hasn't
we
been-
knew about, it would either be creation, destruction, or like Emily's back to life and there's a price. I don't know, but it's all the
Also,
same thing.
there's also like, so we know he found the Miraculous, but like we still don't really understand how he came about this knowledge.
Yeah,
We
because
haven't
he
gotten
also
the
didn't
backstory.
have.
Yeah.
He didn't have the. I want to keep calling it the grimoire, but
That is what it was, the grimoire.
Yeah.
yeah, but like because he didn't get that until later, so
Right. Like what? I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I feel like-
We have
I wonder
pieces.
if
I would
something-
really like to see this all connected.
I wonder if there's something deeper with like Emily's family.
Yeah, it could be a
'Cause
cycle
they
with
did
the
make,
family.
they did make a point of saying like they went back to England for medicine. So it makes
Yeah.
me wonder if that's like maybe there's some sort of like lore with like their families connected to the Miraculous.
Yeah. Okay. How about Operation Perfect Alliances? We're kind of transitioning. So in
Okay.
Revolution,
They're gonna brainwash everyone.
they
I
say
don't know.
they've sold enough alliances. Once Kagami and Adrian are safe in London, we'll launch Operation Perfect Alliance.
We're gonna brainwash
So
everybody.
this definitely implies
Yeah.
that they're gonna affect people via the alliance rings. Yeah.
or yes, they're gonna do something with people in the alliances.
Specifically,
wonder-
what we don't know, but
Yeah, and there's so many things that you could speculate. I mean, if we want to get really dark, they use the alliances to suck all of the life out of everybody, and
That's messed
use
up.
it.
Wow.
that's so Gabriel doesn't have to die in the wish. They,
To be fair,
Yeah.
my first thought was that they just explode, but that's so lazy.
I mean,
that is lazy. Well, also,
Scary.
what would that accomplish? Like,
I don't
nothing.
know. I don't
Just
know what they're trying.
exploding
I don't,
people.
like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, if they. So here's the thing. Let's say they're going to use it to brainwash everybody and be like, find Cat Noir and Ladybug. We've done that before. Like,
yeah.
so I feel like there has to be something like real. Like, I feel like I don't know if we can guess what this is going to be. Like,
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
how about
kind of-
this? Let's bring in the last
Okay.
scene we've seen. Kagami and Adrian are put into these white rooms. And
Yeah.
Kagami and someone who looks like Adrian, let's say.
Yeah.
Could be Adrian, could
Oh.
be Felix.
that's true. You're right.
And it's time to launch Operation Perfect Alliance, and we get this iconic Monarch line. It's time to put an end to the adventures of Ladybug and Cat Noir, which I think
Love it
is
when they say
better internationally because that's the actual title of the show. I think in some countries, Adventures.
Yep.
Is that the title of the show here? It has a long subtitle, right?
It is.
No,
it's
It's
miraculous.
like the Mirac-
No,
like
it's
the
it's
Mirac-
Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's miraculous.
But in
The
French,
Tales
it's
of Ladybug and
Miraculous
Cat
Les
Noir.
Adventures de Ladybug et Chat Noir. So it makes more sense in French, that line. Okay. He should have
terrible,
seen,
but
the
I
translation
enjoy it.
should have been Tales of then.
Oh, well.
Anyway, it doesn't
They do what
matter.
they want.
I love that from Gabe though. I still support you, Gabe. I still support you.
I really think that they're going to try and create their own, like, Ladybug and Cat Miraculouses. I don't know why I love that idea.
Do tell.
But
How?
Okay, so think about it. Because they have, like, we watched them break down the old Miraculouses, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And in theory, he made those rings out of them, but then he must have also used them to put in the alliances, because how else would he be able to transfer all of the powers to other people? And so I think that there's like a technology aspect to it, which is why like Tomoe's involved. And like, if you can use the power to put something into the ring, why couldn't you use the ring to take something out of something else? Does that make sense?
What
Because
would, as they would
why-
instead
why
of taking it, they would make their own?
Yeah, because why else would he be so confident? Like, he, up until this point, he has literally failed. Like, and he's recognized that on so many different accounts that he has failed to retrieve, like, the Miraculouses of Ladybug and Cat Noir. And so, given that Tomoe is really intelligent, obviously, why wouldn't she be able to, in the process of breaking down the other Miraculouses, learn how to reconstruct? And so, it's just a matter of figuring out what exactly they could use to power their new Miraculouses. And so if they use like the life force from everyone elsewhere in an alliance, because we've also watched Gabriel use like the life force of the Kwamis
That's
to
true.
keep himself
That's fair.
alive.
We did see that. I think the key thing is like, this is an interesting theory. I like that it ties into the beginning of the season where he remade the Alliance rings. I like that. This is precipitated on the fact that he needs the Ladybug and Cat Noir Miraculous for Operation Perfect Alliance. That is the end goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Delaney, I guess, questioned that before, right? Like when you said like, maybe we're not making the wish. That's not the end goal of Operation Perfect Alliance. Maybe this is a stepping stone to the wish or something.
Or it's like part of it, like because we keep getting this like Tomoe being like, don't forget you're part of the deal. So like, what is it that Tomoe wants?
Good question. Tomoe's daughter is safe, and they're going to affect everyone else who has Alliance rings. So Monarch knows that Ladybug and Cat do not have Alliance rings.
Alliances, yes.
So his plan can't be that he's going to get their Miraculouses just through activating the Alliance rings. However, maybe he activates everyone and they're zombies, and then they take control of whoever doesn't have Alliance rings.
He could also use the maybe that same theory, but not create Miraculouses, but use that life force to revive Emily.
No, because so I'm beginning to get on board with April's idea because so we've done this before previously, where kind of we're like, there's just something. This seems very different than our other times where they're like, I need to protect my son from whatever evil nonsense I'm about to do. This seems like they're going to do something really bad, and so that they need their children safe.
Yeah, which I think level 1. They're just going to mind control everyone with an Alliance ring. And it's going to become like a zombie hellscape, and they need the kids away.
But I wonder if they're able to pick and choose which Alliance rings they... obviously they can because of Monarch transferring the powers to rings. Because I would say that if they were just going to mass Alliance ring, then why would, like... One, Gabriel be so insistent that Adrian have an Alliance ring, but also why would Tomoe let Kagami wear an Alliance ring?
Yeah, I mean, good questions. I think even if they chose not to activate their 2 Alliance rings, they just wanted them out of the chaos, could be an explanation.
That makes sense.
But I like your idea that there is more to what is going on with the Alliance. I think there's something beyond just we're going to take control of everyone. Mind control is what happens every episode, so it should be probably something different.
Yes.
Also, April makes a good point about like if Hawkmoth can transfer, there's no reason it can't go both ways.
It's really interesting.
I mean, because think about it in terms of like the internet, right?
Yeah.
You can upload and you download. Like, it goes both ways. You can't really block it. Like, if you block it, then you shut it off completely. Like, you don't get one or the other.
So basically, you're saying he's just Belos and he wants to drain everyone in Paris.
Maybe. And then he needs that energy to funnel into something else.
Yeah,
now,
and what does he need it for? Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know why his plan all along would be to make his own Alliances ring this season and yet still try to get Ladybug and Cat Noir's rings.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe, this could also just be like a last-ditch effort for him.
It could be that this is the backup plan, or like ultimately he knows that they'll eventually get to this anyway. Or I think more likely there's something else, not just, it's like some other application.
Maybe he gives like everyone in Paris superpowers.
Yeah, I think he did all that. He did that though.
I was gonna say
all the villains came back.
He can't split up the Miraculouses. You know what I mean? Like, he can't send like pollen into more than one. It can only go into one. So
yeah, it transfers it. I like the idea that something will be happening with the Miraculouses and the remaking the Miraculouses and the construction. I think that seems likely. I'm on board.
Unless there's so many possibilities.
Well, let's talk about, and then we'll open up at the very end for any last predictions. But let's go through our list of things that will happen or could happen and give one last guess to, will this happen in the finale?
Okay.
I don't think the wish was on our list, but let's here was the things that we had before season 5. Sentimonster confirmed. So we said that already happened.
Yes.
Dating happens. Adrinette, they kissed. They're officially dating, even though they were before. Check. Adrian knows he's a Sentimonster. Has not happened yet. Will that happen in the finale?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm more skeptical, but I like the vision you guys outlined with Gabriel revealing the last part of the story before he is no longer a factor, whether he dies or some other thing. But I could see the fact that they're like, we give half of it here and we save half of it for the next segment of the show. I'm afraid of that. But we'll see.
I feel like Adrian being a Sentimonster is such a core part of all of this.
And I like you saying that that's a core part of his character arc and that should come at this point. I like that. I'm just very
I think that him finding out could happen, and then as we move forward, it's him dealing with that fact. So he finds out in the finale,
and it's like at the end, and he grapples with it, and it's kind of a cliff.
Yeah, and then as we move, not only like for him, but like how it impacts his relationship with Marinette, how it impacts his relationship with whatever parental figure is left in his life. How, you know what I mean? Like him finding out creates that drama that we will no longer be getting from like Marinette obsessing over Adrian. You know what I mean? Like it creates a new like set of drama.
I like it. I'll say no for the sake of this, just because I'm just so skeptical and beaten down by these shows. I'm very worried, and I'm very worried about the next thing. Identity reveals. Marinette knows Adrian's identity. Adrian learns Marinette's identity. Will this happen in the finale?
Are we just those identity reveals, right?
And then we'll get to the last two Hawkmoth things, but Marinette learns Adrian's identity. Adrian learns Marinette's identity. Delaney, where are you at heading into the next 2 weeks?
This is hard.
Can we be split on this?
I mean, I think this is probably the least likely thing to happen, right?
But Adrian was so close.
I know. That sweet boy he was right there. Right there.
I'm going to say it happens. Why not? All the other stuff
Before the
happens.
season, you were the only one to say it wouldn't happen this season, and now you think it will happen.
Yep, I'm a traitor.
April, what about you?
Can I be split?
You think one happens and not the other?
Yes.
Marinette learns Adrian, but Adrian doesn't learn Marinette?
Yes.
Okay.
I think only because Adrian was so close to revealing it to Marinette. Like, so close. And the only thing that stopped him was the nightmare.
Yeah.
Which seems dumb. Why wouldn't he just still tell her?
Yeah, after that. I will say, I think that the show is at a point where they absolutely could do it, and they have built it up, and it would be the right time, and I think that they should do it. And I am still, I know I started the season like, of course it's going to happen here. You know, I just think at the point where we're at right now, heading into the finale, Adrian doesn't know he's a Sentimonster. We haven't seen the rest of the backstory. We haven't seen the identity reveals. This feels like the thing that's least likely to happen to me at this point. And if that is the case, I will very likely be coming on the finale podcast pretty upset. So look forward to that.
Perfect. We're always upset.
We're very positive about Ladybug compared to everyone else, but
we are, and we also
and
are.
also
I'll be
not.
Twitter, and people are just like, this show's still airing, and I'm like, why are you talking about my child like this?
Yes,
right?
exactly. And then last few things, we Gabriel's identity as Monarch is revealed.
Yes,
I think it's happened halfway, which means
I guess Marinette knows now.
Boy.
Yeah, I'll say yes.
Look,
yeah.
I'm utterly convinced that she knows. Like,
this is a lot of faith in Marinette.
Okay, if you're gonna be upset in the next podcast, if
Marinette doesn't know and she's
that'll
be upsetting. Yeah.
I'm gonna be raging.
Okay.
I can't wait.
My Twitter /X ban is gonna be over, and you best believe I'm gonna put
April,
Thomas
come at Thomas.
on blast.
Okay, don't go. No, we don't encourage people coming at Thomas on Twitter. He has enough problems
Thomas,
on
look,
Twitter already.
Thomas, we are friends. I'm going to do it with nothing but love in my heart.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Thomas secretly likes being blasted on Twitter.
Yeah, an attention thing. Yeah. Okay, we don't need to get into it. Okay.
Imagine if we put him on blast on Twitter. Okay, Thomas, I'm just kidding. I won't do that.
Don't come at Thomas.
But I won't come at Thomas. But I will come onto this podcast and I will be raging.
Yeah. Guys, we are 2 months behind on the finale. People, if this happened, people have already came at Thomas about this. We don't need to worry about that. Like, this has already happened, and we just aren't aware of it.
Right.
Thomas, you're safe.
You're safe.
Also, regardless of what happens, people are going to come for Thomas. So
yeah,
but
that's
true. Okay, next game.
Thomas, I'm going to leave you alone. I love you.
Next Monarch things. Monarch makes the wish. The wish actually happens. Yes or no?
No. I think I'm reversing everything I said from earlier.
Yeah, we didn't predict this one, but see, I think either the wish will happen or it will almost happen, and I'm not sure which.
I could see it almost happening, but I don't think that it's going to happen.
The only thing that makes me say it won't happen is just because if the wish happens, that is a lot to like reverse.
Here's the thing.
I guess we could just do Deus Ex Machina the wish away, back away. Okay, it's based on a spoiler?
Yes,
okay.
It's based on a promo image I've seen.
Okay, no thank you.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
Oh.
What promo image have you seen?
It was something from the crew. It was like art.
They're annoying. Okay.
Like, I don't follow them, it just appeared. I was like, what's this? And there was like one detail I noticed, and I was like, I wish I could bleach my mind.
Sad, yeah. The only I've always thought the wish would happen at the end of season 5. I mean, maybe we thought at the various points it would happen earlier, but
I feel like we've thought that a lot.
I've really always thought it, but this Operation Perfect Alliance thing is throwing me off a little because I do think it could be like a step or in place of a wish or. I don't know. I think the wish has to come. The wish has to be in play. I'm pretty sure about that.
I mean, that's the whole point. That's like the only reason he wants the Miraculous. So,
but we haven't talked much about the wish.
Yeah, excepting the first of these 3 episodes, he says we'll be together again soon.
The only thing that makes me believe the wish could like half happen but not completely happen is that something would have to have happened in terms of like an identity reveal for them to hand over their Miraculouses for a wish to almost take place. Like, I feel like those would have to, like, it would have to be something along the lines of like.
That's true. You would think that it would precipitate an identity reveal if he has the Miraculouses, unless you think he makes his own Miraculouses.
Unless he makes his own Miraculouses, which I really like that idea. Thank you, me.
They exist. Like, what? Someone had to have made them.
Yeah, but also like the only way that I could imagine Gabriel getting the Miraculouses is, or at least one of them, is if in the Monarch reveal, like that it's Gabriel, is that. As Gabe is giving his villain monologue, he says to Adrienne or to Cat Noir, "I'm only trying to make a wish to bring my wife back." And then at that point, Cat Noir / Adrienne would have to be like, "Mom," and that shatters everything. Like,
and then Marinette is like, "Oh my God, I love Adrienne. Here's my Miraculous."
Yeah. I see that all these things are tied. It's complicated. We will see on the wish. How about Gabriel dies, as in his physical form is dead after this season?
Yep, dead. Rip.
And if he has a new body from a wish or something else, and he has a physical form next season, that doesn't count. Like that means he still doesn't die. Even if maybe his body died, he's not dead if he has a physical form next season, and not a hologram or a robot. That's dead.
He's gonna be AI.
Man.
Dead.
What do you think, April?
I would love for him to not die, but
it's over. Bye.
I don't know how we can go forward without him dying.
Yeah, I'll stick with he dies but is still in play in a supernatural form with technology. Here's the last thing, because we haven't talked about Natalie as much, other than that she looks like she's dying. She's watching videos of Emily. Looks like she's kind of a goner. I think it's notable she hasn't
Her
really...
hair is whitening.
Yeah, she hasn't like stood up to Gabriel as much as we thought, I feel like.
I don't know that she has the energy to do it.
Doesn't seem like she was able to.
Like she's bedridden.
So I guess
she's
is
not.
Natalie...
She can't even use her robot legs to make herself walk. Like she's
unfair that Gabe is all decayed body and he can still move around. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Will Natalie die, or what will happen to her, Delaney?
Rip Natalie.
That's pretty sad, though.
It's so sad,
Yeah.
but also a lot can come. This sounds bad. It's very sad. I would rather Natalie not die, but a lot can come from Natalie dying. Because then we can get, maybe she sends those videos of Emily to Adrian. Maybe she makes her own videos to Adrian, as well as send those videos. Like, there are so many things Natalie dying could set into
I do
motion.
like the cyclical idea of Natalie making videos for Adrian. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the show will do something with Natalie. I guess that's my prediction, because I don't think it's really done anything
yet. And the other thing is that Adrian is still going to need a parental figure at the end of this. And so
the gorilla.
It's either...
Girl, yeah, I was going to say it's gorilla.
Oh, the sweet gorilla. I would love that. He'd be the best father. But I feel like it's going to be one of... I genuinely can't imagine Emily coming back to life.
Oh, I guess will Emily come back to life? That's a good question.
I can't see that happening. I just can't.
I don't know.
That's a tough one.
That's hard.
I could definitely see Gabe dying Emily back to life.
But then Natalie died too.
And I think Natalie dying would be so sad for this show. Like Gabe dying,
would be.
The reason why I thought that Gabe will die is because the show has made him very evil in a way he wasn't in previous seasons, which I think builds up to the audience being okay with him dying. Natalie is always sympathetic in the show.
I don't think we can have.
No. I'm sold. Okay, we kill Gabriel, and Emily comes back, and Emily and Natalie are Adrian's moms.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So,
but that's the thing. I think it has to be one or the other. It can't be both. Like, it's either going to be Gabriel dies or Natalie dies. We can't have both of those because that would break our sweet baby Adrian so much. True.
And his mom doesn't come back to life? Oh, man.
And his mom doesn't come back to life? Like, we cannot have that. Then what? He goes and lives with Amelie? Amelie's going to... I don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah, who knows?
He moves in with Marinette.
Very soon.
That would be so
very
cute.
Soon. They're adults now, though, apparently.
Yeah, they're adults.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say Natalie alive, Gabriel dead, Emily alive somehow. Okay, that would be good. Last thoughts. Any last predictions? Any last thoughts, Delaney?
I don't think so.
I'm beat. I know there's other stuff we haven't talked about, but I'm beat.
I'm like mind wiped.
Much like all of the people of Paris in the finale.
Yep.
Or they all die.
April, any last thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know.
What if what if they kill all the people in Paris to make new Miraculouses, but then Marinette and Cat Noir and Ladybug have to take off their Miraculouses so they can use them to bring everybody back.
Everyone might die and everyone gets brought back. That's possible for sure. And they have to take it off in order to do that.
This happened when they flooded Paris. So
I love that. I've made Delaney say that's messed up multiple times this podcast.
Is that the title of the podcast? Up. That's messed up. That could be.
That's messed up.
We could do that. I guess.
Okay, the title is "That's Messed Up," and it's Marinette crying on the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
I think the screenshot should be if you scroll down the one of the performance. I feel like the performance.
That works.
It could be Marinette devastated in front of the projector after watching what she saw.
Or just any.
I'm sorry, Chloe's statue is so funny.
And then at the bottom, one of the last shots of the episode, Marinette pounding it with the recording of
Okay.
to the sunrise is so gorgeous, that shot.
That first off, that shot's so gorgeous, but also I love that like Cat Noir left her that voicemail, and like goes through the whole process with her like he would if he was actually there. I love that so much.
Really
I was
cute.
like,
yeah.
I think that's like an ultimate representation of their relationship and their friendship.
April,
as-
that was the name of this episode, representation.
Oh.
We'll be back in 2 weeks for the finale
Oh,
podcast.
gosh.
Oh, God.
Oh, I was going to say, the Ladybug's speech to the people of Paris when they're in the bubble is really good. Okay. We'll be back in 2 weeks because they're airing part 1 and then part 2 separate weeks. So
I
That's
hate
evil.
that
Why
so
would they do
much.
that?
because we need maximum time to digest the finale.
I want to cry just thinking about it.
2 weeks. Just hold off on the spoilers. 2 more weeks. I think probably this will be our most anticipated podcast ever because I assume everyone's up in arms about the finale. There's no way these people are not up in arms, whatever happens.
That's true, yeah.
Oh my gosh, in 2 weeks I can go back on Twitter.
I know. Find out what you, April. Since you've left, I hate to break it to you, but things are not good there. So you probably shouldn't.
They
be
broke
back.
Twitter.
You probably
Oh,
shouldn't be
They're
back.
so bad. Don't come back.
Don't
Don't come back.
You're free.
It's finale podcast coming up. Let us know what you thought of this podcast without spoilers. If you like this podcast, consider supporting us via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to all our current patrons, especially our patron podcast, Michael, and thanks as always to our patron executive producers, Steve, Michael, and Phoenician. And if I can pull up the Spotify stuff in time, we can
Oh, God.
leave us an iTunes review, leave us a Spotify Q&A answer. No, it's not loading, but shout out to the people who commented there. And that is it. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the full Luca rock opera. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
In the heart of Paris, a tale unfolds. A story of secrets, dudes. Of destinies untold. A shadowed mansion, a father and son. Their hidden past, a battle begun. Massive elegance, grace, and prestige. But behind closed doors, a truth besieged. A lineage of heroes, a curse they share. A legacy of pain, a cross to bear. Oh, Ladybug, let me take you back in time to unravel the mystery, to uncover the rhyme. A boy named Adrian, so lost and alone, a scent a monster's heart, a soul overthrown. A distant mother, a love unrequited, a father's obsession, the pain ignited. A lonely boy trapped in a gilded cage, searching for freedom, turning the page, but deep within his heart a spark did ignite. A longing for love, a hunger for light, yet the secrets around him held him tight. A fragile existence, a never-ending fright. Oh, Ladybug, let they show you the way through the darkness and shadows to a brighter day. Dudes, a world of illusions, the truth is concealed. A scent of monsters struggle, a fate are revealed. But as the melody weaves its spell, the pieces of the puzzle begin to swell. Marinette, let your compassion guide as Adrian's secrets break free from inside. A bond between souls, a connection so rare. Marinette's heart whispers a love to repair. She uncovers the truth, the tale finally told. A cement to monster's story, a future to mold. The aggress legacy, a cycle to break. A chance for redemption for love's sake. Marinette stands strong, her heart filled with grace. To save Adrian's soul, to find their rightful place. Oh, Ladybug. The power within your hands to heal wounds of the past, to help them both stand in a symphony of emotions, two destinies entwined, a rock opera of love, a hero refined. As the music fades, the story lives on in the hearts of listeners, a connection so strong, you dudes, a rock opera's tale of love and strife, a reminder that even shadows can find their light.